Any of that.
All right, Moose Fam, welcome to another edition of Moose Media. We have your host, myself, AC09DC, Liberated, who's looking a little bit Destiny-ish with that hood on, and Bilal with the wonderful hairdo. Look at that. That's a coif, buddy. Look at that, baby. Welcome all to the draft show. I'm not sure if some of you were aware or not aware, but due to some things in my life, just getting busy with kids and family, I kind of took a break from the Moose Media. But I offered to come back for this one important night, which is probably the biggest night for the Moose when it comes to our media and the excitement we can build. So happy to be back. Hopefully I put another good show on for you guys with my colleagues here. This is going to be an interesting draft. We're going to apparently, well, we're on a version of the game that some people may not have wanted to play this season on. So let's start the conversation with that. Lib, what's your thoughts about starting on 14 versus moving to 15?
I think it's the right decision. Obviously, we lost some people signing up, but I don't know how many of these members would have bought NHL 15, specifically because I heard it was just like a rehash of 14. So, yeah, I'm happy with the decision. I wouldn't have gotten 15, so I'm here playing in the Moose this season because it's still on 14.
Cool. And what about you? So did you have a chance to play at all the 15 on 360? And I had the sports access left over, so I got like a day and a half to play it. Did you get a chance to play it at all, or no? For the 360, Lib?
I had the opportunity to because I had that EA access thing, but knowing the Moose wasn't going there, I didn't even bother downloading it or trying it.
And your thoughts, Blau? What do you think about staying on 14 for the season?
Obviously, we had a choice to go to 15. I think on our last media show, we actually announced that we were going to Xbox One for 15 or 16, sorry, and literally it didn't happen because of what EA decided to go with their route of the new game. It shows that we are not going to take EA's bullshit. But to be honest, I like the move. We still have 90-plus signups this season, which shows the dedication of the Moose and where the league's going and how people enjoy this league. I definitely support the decision. 15 is something to look at in the future possibly, but as of now, I like the decision. We definitely have enough people. We have the right guys and people that are dedicated to the league signed up this season, and especially a lot of new guys too that didn't take going to 15 as well.
Yeah, I want to commend the MEC on taking a tough decision and handling it quite well. There was a lot of chatter in the chat leading up to that decision about why we should go and not go. Strong opinions on either side. I mean, you can make a case for either side of the argument. I personally think 14 to play for us was the better choice. I noticed with the signups, there's some vets that haven't been around for a while who come back, so maybe that was a good draw to have some of the old vets' blood back into the league. And we did get, I think you made a point earlier in the discussions we had before we started, Blau, or Liv, that this looks like to be one of the biggest rookie classes we've had as well. So. Yeah. This decision in itself could just do some wonders for this league with adding new blood and maybe bringing back some of the old guard. Anybody got a thought on what they expect to happen with this draft? Kind of a preview of, do you think something's going to happen like last year where there was an insane bid, or do you think the bidding's going to be a little more reasonable with the fact that the draft pool is maybe a little bit smaller and the teams only being 9 right now? Thoughts, Bilal?
It's going to be a little different because this season, 3 of our top guys for money-wise last year are gone. You got playmaker Devin and Drew all gone because of 15 and kind of that cross-reference of games there. You're going to see a lot of the mediocre pay mid-round pays, like the $15 to $25, get a little bit of an increase, I think, just because to fill up that money void that was left by the big names that went for $40+. Basically, like I said, it's going to be exactly like that, and you'll see that a majority. And then the smaller guys, like the $5 to $10 raise, is going to get a little bit of a raise as well. So
I'm just noting some activity going on here. Is the keeper draft already started? There's only 2 people in this pool, right, for the RFA draft?
There's 2 RFAs, yes.
It's yourself and Jaime Zed, right?
Yes.
Have they started that already, or is it just a practice?
No. Basically, what they're doing right now is that they're putting all the people in that are keepers from last
Yes.
season, and then they're going to go to the RFAs after.
Your thought process on this, Lib, about kind of what Blau touched on, some of the big money guys from the last draft are out, but do you think you'll see big money spent, or do you see more of an even spending this year? Any thoughts?
I think there will be those one or two players that go up into the $50 to $60 range. I don't think we're going to see another. What was it? Playmaker went for 70 or something, 69 last year. Yeah, something outrageous. But I think the teams will be more balanced now because of it. I don't think. So I'll just say D-Mitch here, for example. Like, say D-Mitch is a $15 to $20 player. I don't see him getting boosted up because of the lack of other upper talent. I say he still stays around the same amount value. I just think we see a more widely diverse team of $15 to $20 players.
Now, again, on this topic about being such a large rookie class, I unfortunately didn't participate as much in the scouting probably as I should have, but I did see some players, and I did reach out to an individual who's been quite active in the chat, Gibson12 here. I want to give a shout out to him for providing me with some insight on some players. But do you think, or do you guys know of any of the rookies that are in there that you've heard of before? I know there's some coming from LG that decided to stay on 14. Is there any guy that sticks out to you that's someone we should watch out for, or that you have a little bit of knowledge on, Bilal? Or even some of the people you've seen in scouting that kind of sticks out for you?
I got all three different positions. I'll start with goalie. You got Bonos9. He's been basically every single night in the scouting lobby trying to get us with as many captains as possible. Because as I see here, I haven't seen him much in other leagues, if that any. I've searched every single league, could not find the guy, so it's, I think, his first 6v6 league, so he's trying to get his name out there, which I definitely agree with. You got J07 After Death, a winger, left winger, brand new to the league. Like I said, it's for his first Sixes league as well. I think he'll stand out, and I think he'll perform very well this season. Might be a low-dollar player because of all the names that are out there, all the bets that are still here. And also, last but not least, the preferred right B, also willing right wing, is, like you said, Gibson's 12 year. I know he's played LG NHL as well for many seasons. He's been a high player over there. So we might see a nice amount of dollars spent on that guy as well.
And yourself, Lib, anybody that you've seen or heard of, or you might know from an involvement in other leagues or in club that you kind of know?
I haven't seen a lot of the rookies. I've seen Berkese play before left wing. In one of the other leagues, I don't know. I just remember him as being an okay left wing, probably like that $15 to $25 range. But I don't know again because rookies are flight risk in my opinion. So I think that affects their values. And maybe I heard this from a little birdie, Bunka lefty. I heard he was an NHL LG solid defender. So I'd look for him to make a splash this season, possibly.
Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, I didn't get a chance to see too many, but the individual J07 After Death, I did play a couple of games with him in some of Blue and Vin's lobbies. He looks like a pretty good player. I think Bilal hit on the head. He could be someone that can make a splash. He did play a little left wing. I think he also played some D, which he seems like he could be a pretty good utility player. If, to your point, sometimes captains worry about rookies kind of being a flight risk, but he could be that kind of guy that a captain might take a risk on, where he could be popped into any part of the lineup. The one thing that the Gibson, he did give me some breakdown of some players, and there was one goalie that kind of stood out in some of his comments. I don't know how to pronounce the name, Triblio Time, but unfortunately, he and some other people didn't fill out their new member posts, which unfortunately caused them to be removed from the draft, which is kind of a shame. But rules are rules. So to all those who did, or maybe are going to think about next year, and they're talking to these guys, make sure that stuff's done. There's rules to this league, and you got to follow them, obviously. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see the makeup of some of these teams. If it goes all vets, all rooks, are we going to see some vets that have maybe not played the game or even didn't play last season and get carried by their name? It could be interesting. Do we have a potential for a $50 to $60 player in this draft pool? Wow.
I think there may be two. And those are vets. You got Johnny Hockey, also aka Saney, aka Mr. Pone, and NJ Ski. Two vets that have been here for a very long time. High-end wingers, and with I wouldn't say a decrease in wingers, but a decrease of offensive talent. Saney's a very good player, and he is the one name out of those two that I would guarantee would get up to 50 to 60 range. But that's the only one I think in this pool that I'll give it to.
What about you, Blau? Or sorry, Lib? Do you think there's that level of a player here?
I don't know if there's that level of a player here, but there will be definitely a couple people that go that high. At least two, I'm thinking. You look at some of the keepers people have kept; they have a lot of salary left. Some maybe first-time captains or captains that haven't had success in the past. They want to get that superstar player and use him for leaning on him for the whole season. It has worked in the past for some teams, so I wouldn't be surprised if they identify someone that's worth like that much to them and go up to that high.
And I'm going to stick with you, Lib. Last year there was some interesting bidding going on for some rookie goalies. One of the goalies when I was captain that I put a lot of money on ended up not doing well with us, and I think, eventually got ruined. And the other one was Lamsey, who ended up being a cup winner. Is there a position that may be a important position to rely on this year based on the fact that A, we're sticking with 14, and B, that there's a big mix of rookies and vets? Is there a position that you think may be more important to draft right now?
The big position this season I think is going to be the position to key on. We got 9 since Trimboli didn't fill the sheet. We have 9 preferred goalies. I think every season the goalie is the most important position on the ice. If you can keep the puck out of the net, if you have 2 D-men in front of them, and a goalie is making all the easy saves, it's going to give your team a long run in the future for sure, and help you make it to that ultimate goal of winning a Moose Cup. A lot of times there's a good offensive line, all right D, and then the goalie's all right as well, and then all of a sudden they get just a scoring race every game. If you have a good defender and good goaltending, you're going to win the game 9 times out of 10 every time.
What about you, Lib? Do you think there's a position to watch out for, or that should be keyed on by captains?
I believe goalie. I'll go with Belial on this one. Season 24, year of the goalie. People are probably not going to be on NHL 14 as much practicing together. I'm just guessing because you got the Xbox One, you got other things going on. Goalie's one of those positions where you either got it or you don't. You don't really need to practice as much, especially by now. So I think a goaltender is huge.
Yeah, I would agree with you both. I think that's going to make a big difference. We know how tough that game 14 was on goaltenders, and I think you're both pretty accurate in saying that probably, in my opinion, should be the most important position captain should be focusing on, and I think it'll be the make it or break it for a team. Few things actually I want to do as kind of a housekeeping. First, I wanted to acknowledge the changing of the guard and the leadership for the Moose, and congratulate Vic taking over for Yam. I know there's a big divide on Yam in terms of his people like and dislike. I don't want to get into that. I want to acknowledge the man for simply his dedication to the league and how well I think he did running it and how much he put into it. But I also think that Vic is the logical step going forward, and I do think Vic will do a wonderful job. So I just want to say congrats to him. And there's some new members to the MEC. There's Vin, and congrats to him as well. Is there anyone else new to the MEC? I'm trying to remember.
I think Ed as well. Hi, my name is Ed.
There's
also
really?
A member on there as well. Yes.
Very surprising. Love that guy. He's a funny-ass man in parties. Like to see him in the MEC. You should add some flavor to it for sure. But to that perspective as well, last year's Cup team is going to be broken up, if I'm correct, right? There's no one taking over for what was previously Yam's team. So yes. Everyone's back in the pool, correct?
That is a free team, yes.
And to just to do a little acknowledgement of the Cup winners, I had reached out to Vic earlier just to make sure I got the names correct. I'm pretty sure I knew everybody, but I just want to make sure. So we had Danny, I Pound Empty Nets, Vic, McGilla, and Lambsby, and Yam, obviously, were the Cup winners. Congrats to those boys. Do we think that these guys are going to be targeted? Do we think people are going to try to recreate some magic with some of these guys, or one or two of these guys going to be some of the ones that are going to be searched going after? You got a definite opinion there, Bilal, already. So what do you got to say, bud? What's your thoughts?
Well, you already know Yam's gone, Lambsy's gone, Vic's in the pool. I don't think any one of those guys are a captain. So unless they can persuade a captain like Blue or like Vin or somebody like that to get that team, I don't see it happening. I think they'll all be scrambled in there. Some of them moved on. Some of them are looking for new players to play with, and I don't think it'll happen at all.
What about you, Lib? Do you think anybody's going to try to maybe grab one or two of them in hopes to recreate some of the magic?
Nope. If they were a captain on that team and they saw like the chemistry they might have had or not had or whatever, they could be going for that. But no one's that's a captain was on the team, so I don't see them. I don't see them doing that.
Also, guys, it does look like the RFA draft is getting close to underway here. It looks like everybody has their privileges to, say, pick or whatever they need to do. It says just me and Ed, like I said, are the two RFAs. So basically what we're going to do first, those RFAs will be posted by whoever's nominating. And basically everybody else will get to bid on the player except for the previous captain. So in this case, Vin had me and Ed both last year. So basically once the bidding is done, then Vin Gizzles has an option to match the price, just so you guys are aware.
Thank you, appreciate that. It's interesting that Vin's the only guy that's done that, and he's done two of his own players. So we could potentially have 1/3 of a team already in place if he decides to match both you guys. On the captains, it's quite the mix of individuals. We have some people who have done it several times, some brand new people. I don't know if I want to get into the whole let's call out a fail or not, but do you guys feel just give me your rankings, thoughts of who might be a good captain in terms of what they might be able to do, or a captain you think might struggle, and maybe one that could surprise us. Lib, you got a big smile. What are you thinking there?
I'm not. I was just reading what JB wrote, laughing at myself basically. No, I don't have anything for this one.
I got a few. You got Blue and Vin, like I said. Who Blues captain, I swear, like 38 seasons in this league, even though there's only 24. I swear he's always a captain. Vin's coming off a season where he did struggle as well, and he's going to rebound because he's learned a lot from his first season captaining. But wants to surprise me, I think, are SBDR and SCLSU, whatever it is, Mud Dog. Mud Dog's a very strong left defenseman. SBDR is a very strong left winger. You can see those guys, they mesh well with pretty much everybody, and I think they'll have a good strategy coming in. SBDR's captain in the past, led a good team, made the playoffs even. Mud Dog, I don't believe he has captained in the past, at least for Moose, but I think he'll get the job done for sure this year.
I don't think SBDR has been captain before. I think this is his first time.
Oh, he's been a captain
he's been a captain a couple times. I think he's been a captain once or twice in the MAHL when it was existing. And I think he wasn't a captain last year. No, but I know SBDR is captain before. I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Yeah, he did.
And I kind of agree with your assessment, Blau. I think it's a good mix of captains. It's nice to see guys like Colonelli and Blue and Vin who have constantly stepped up and captained several times, and you can see a progression sometimes in how they draft, and sometimes they're experienced, right? So they know what they're doing. They've been around a few times, so they can sometimes correct mistakes made in the past or just learn from a draft and go forward. But I think there's a possibility for some interesting outcomes with some of the young in terms of new to the captaining ranks. I personally don't think anyone there I would want to call it as a possible fail, but it should be an interesting draft, I think. You're going to see a lot of different things happen, in my opinion. We're still waiting on that RFA to start. So there is not. Well, while we're given a little bit of a break here, let's go down through some of the rules and information we're given by the NBC for what's happening for the league and what some of the players can expect. I know I'm kind of springing this on you, but it's just to keep this going and rolling. So can you give us an idea of what the NBC has let us know about the league going forward for this season?
Yeah, for sure. So some late news. There has been one captain, unfortunately, had to be removed just because of personal issues and not being able to make it. So this season there will be 9 teams playing in the MHL. There'll be 9-man rosters, so you're pretty much wondering, that's quite a bit of players. And it is, and because this season there is actually going to be no undrafted players, which is a bonus for everybody. Of course, there's some risks in that everybody's getting drafted and there's nobody in the pool. But as you know, MHL is growing every single day. There's getting more members, so there will be a waiver pool. But I'm very excited that everybody in this draft class will be on a team this season. As well, there's going to be 36 games. Usually there is 39 games in a season. We had to drop it just because of like I said, the teams in the league. There's only 9. So basically everybody will play each other once. So every single player, every single team will play. And then after that, there will be 4 more games randomly assigned based on the schedule generator that we do come up with at the start of the season. And after that, you guys will play all 36 games. And the top 6 teams with points will make the playoffs. After that, the top 2 with points will get access to a bye of the first round, just like normal, just like before. Other than that, it's still MHL. It's still 2 series a week, 3 games a night. So make sure you're available for your captain every single night.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I guess we're just still waiting for the RFA draft to start. Any predictions on length of time this draft's going to take? We've had some lightning quick, and we've had some mind-numbingly slow ones as well. Liv, you're scratching your head, bud. What do you think? Do you think this is going to be a quick or a long one?
God, I hope so. Last year, I think it was 5 hours. I think we were drunk by the end of it, like just delirious from. I don't know. It was really bad at the end. Like the show kind of took a dive at the end because you're on the air for 5 hours. It's going to happen.
Didn't we do a drinking games last?
Yeah, we did do a drinking game last year. We did. I think this one will be about 2.5 hours. So I think it'll be one of the faster ones.
Lib, your thoughts?
That was my thoughts.
Oh, sorry, man. See, I'm already half an hour in. I'm rusty.
Already had a few beers.
Yeah, I know. What are your thoughts?
Was the question again, sorry?
Just your thoughts on how long you think the draft will be. You think it'll be a quick or short one?
As the draft was supposed to start 5 minutes ago, and we're still trying to get the RFAs going. I think I want to say it's almost ready to go. But I'm gonna say at least 3 hours, maybe 9, depending on the captains. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm expecting another long one for sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's kind of in the middle. And to your point, Liv, last year was insane, but there was also 20 captains, right? That was a massive pool, and there was a lot of potential for just stupidity.
Didn't we restart it once too, like 30 minutes in?
I think something happened and it booted everybody out and they had to reload everything. And to your point, Bilal, I know it's taken a few minutes to start, but in all fairness to JJ and those guys, they're dealing with a pretty archaic system, I think, with the draft bot, and I don't think it's intuitive and easy to use. So they got to reload stuff and put things back in. Here's hoping we don't see a repeat of Sanny's infamous bidding up an individual and he had no money. Poor Bar. That was entertaining for some, but
it was really entertaining.
It's something you got to pay attention to. And do you think? I mean, Yambang was quite known for his strategy of bidding people up to prevent people getting the players he figured they wanted for cheap. Do you foresee that strategy being applied tonight, or do you think people are just going to focus on who they are and who they want and let players go for reasonable prices? Bilal, do you think there's going to be bid ups in this one?
I think there will be. There'll be one smartass trying to pull off what Sandy did last season by bidding with money that he never had. I think there'll be somebody trying to do that again. He'll get caught with somebody like putting a ridiculous amount of money on somebody, and he didn't never wanted to, and then it'll die down. I think it'll be a normal draft, but I think somebody's going to get caught with that for sure.
What about you, Lib?
I would like to use this time to plead with captains. Don't be dicks to each other. Like, don't do that. Just don't like you can bid up someone, that's fine, but just don't do these false bids. Because I think that just ruins the spirit of what the Moose is about. Because you have I think it was 5 seconds to decide if you want to bid or not. You see a thing come up, you got to be fast with the typing. It's easy to do. I mean I've never done that mistake, but I could see how people would screw up and outbid themselves, which was essentially what was happening last year.
Yeah, I think it's a good comment, Lib. I think that's I mean, at the end of the day, this is a video game. We're here to have fun, right? And we want to make it an environment where it's competitive and it's a little bit cutthroat from a competitive perspective. But you don't like to see that happen. I mean, you hope they don't do that. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I kind of mentioned earlier there were some individuals that had names when I was going through the draft sheet that were people who hadn't been around in a while but had been long-time Moose people. Is there anyone in here that you guys have noticed that hadn't seen around and are happy to have back or think may make an impact that haven't been around in a while? Blau?
Haven't been around in a while. One guy, maybe Beerus. I know he hasn't. He's a little bit of a off the wall. I think he's playing forward this season, I do believe. So him, I think he was off last season. I don't know for how long, but I think that's the only really guy that's kind of been away for a little bit of time, if at all. So,
Lib, do you have any?
I believe Squint. I'm not sure if he was here last season or not. I did a quick search on the stat sheet. I didn't see him. He made a really good Moose song before, and I am Squint. Yeah, that's it. He had one of the best Moose songs. It was really good. I see him making an impact. It's nice to have him back in the league. He's a lefty, man.
You guys think a lot of the rookies well, I guess they're all going to get drafted. Do you think there's going to be a lot of rookies starting?
I think you'll see about probably close to half of them. I think we've got 21 rookies now that the ones that didn't sign their sheet correctly are still in there. I see about 5 to 10. We already listed about 4 that we feel that could be a little dark horse this year, going for a decent amount of money in Berkeyze, Gibsons, JL7 After Death, and Bonos. Those are just 4 right there, and I think there's a lot more on this sheet that people don't give enough credit to. You got Nuke Freeman, you got Zari, you got people from LG all over the place. Like I said, they're coming over just because of 14. They didn't want to purchase 15, so they just wanted to find a Sixes league that had skill and were sticking on the old game. So that meant a lot of the skilled players from LG came over as well.
And I'm just thinking, have we started the RFA draft yet? No?
Not yet.
Hopefully they're doing okay with the system and it gets up and running. Anybody else got anything that you think might happen this season that's going to stand out or not?
25% of our class is made up of rookies. I think that's the largest percent maybe since the beginning of the Moose. Certainly the largest, I believe, since I've been here, which is like forever. So, yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I hope they all stick around and they enjoy the Moose and maybe carry forward with us in the whatever NHL we decide to be playing on next season.
And what do you think? What do you think's the best decision? Or I mean, it's kind of soon to start that thought process now, but maybe we can just kind of spitball it a bit. What do we do after this season? Do we consider playing a next season on 14? Do we hope that some form of OTP is available on the Xbox One? What do you think, Lib?
I don't see some form of OTP being available, like the way we know it anyways, with the creative player. So I foresee us staying on 14. That's just a wild speculation, but that's what I feel.
Bilal?
I see us moving to 15, but not for one, of course, just because I heard rumors of OTP being 5v5 computer goalies, which is not what the Moose is about. It's a 6v6 hockey league. So I see us moving to the lounges and lobbies of 15 after this season, but I'm not 100% sure on that. That is up for the MEC to decide, and I'm sure they'll make the right decision for sure.
Be interesting if they did decide to go to 15. The impact it would have on people getting A, the game, and B, caught up with legend cards. I think you might see an inordinate amount of boosting lobbies. Giant 918 might come back and host boosting lobbies every night to get everybody to legend cards. Now, I mentioned earlier in the show when we started that I unfortunately didn't get involved as much as I probably should have in drafting, and I didn't see a lot of scouting. What's your thoughts? How do you think scouting went this year? Do you think people have the inevitable, the ringers, the draping going on, or do people maybe did it in club, or what do you think? How do you think this year's scouting actually happened, Bilal? Because there was one or two lobbies that were consistent, but there wasn't a lot of other captains doing a lot of scouting.
I think I saw like 4 consistent captains, and that's Vin, Blue, Shock, and Yeti. I don't know if Colin Ellie, I didn't see Mud Dog. Maybe Mud Dog was like doing club or something like that. But I wasn't disappointed with scouting, but I was kind of surprised that there weren't as much scouting lobbies. You saw Mac scouting a lot, but unfortunately he was the one that got removed from captaincy based on non-responsiveness. So you saw him a lot, but you didn't see every single captain as much as you would like to see them. So I don't know if they have a good grasp on the new class that's coming in. They probably just felt confident that all the MHL vets that are still here, they'll just pick those guys. But still, people's games changes. The new rookies can influence decisions and everything like that as well. So it's kind of a gray spot for me for sure.
Lib, how do you think the scouting went? Do you think captains were doing it offline or on club, or do you think they're just, as to Bilal's point, some of the captains are just going to go, I know these guys from season after season, I'm just going to not worry about it and go in and draft to the guys I want?
Yeah, I think it'll be more the latter. I don't see. I only saw maybe 3 or 4 captains actively scouting. I only showed up to one scouting thing myself.
Nominations are starting here. Nominations are just starting. I just want to let you guys know that nominations are starting here. So I'll finish up your point there, quick, Lib. But
yeah, people that didn't scout, I mean, you're ignoring 25% of the draft class. So you're just hurting yourself. So those captains that actively scouted, you'll probably see them finishing in the top. That's it.
Yeah. I think you got a point there, because I think if people did, as we wait for watch for this to start, I think the people who did invest in putting the time in to scout and have got a good grasp of the rookies, I think, to your point, Liberator, are going to be the ones who do well this season, because they potentially have the ability to find that good balance of catching 1 or 2 really good vets, and then getting a couple of sleeper picks that people are unaware of, and they can save their money and maybe get 1 or 2 of those rookies first off, and then really get involved in the bidding for some of the well-known vets, which I think is going to make for an interesting, like I said earlier, interesting dynamic to this draft. Is it? Yeah. Oh, we started.
What was JJ doing? I think he just doing a kind of a head count here, just to see. JJ is about to start it. Shock already tried to nominate, but just not started. So they're just making sure that everybody's here and has a fair shot at bidding.
Who has the first bid? I apologize, I didn't even think of finding that out with Blue earlier, or some of the guys I could have contacted. Does anyone know?
Shock does. Shock, Yeti, Colin Ellie, Vin, and then SBDR. But it's not going to be really different. The RFA is still going to be the same order after. It's just Shock just has to nominate the first RFA, which is Ed, and then Yeti will be nominating myself for the second RFA there.
And sorry, that order carries over to the real draft as well?
I do believe so, yes. they're already there.
While we're waiting,
I'm sorry.
This is while we're waiting. I mean, one of the biggest news items that happened to this franchise and to us as a group is this whole, as you want to maybe catastrophe of EA with the whole missing the component for the Xbox One and all the modes missing. Just general thoughts. Are you really pissed off at EA? Do you think it was something that the dev team...
Definitely. Yeah, EA. I'm real pissed off at them. Like, I was a person that would buy NHL every year, and you know, once you get out of the cycle of buying it every year, who knows if you're going to go back to it? You know, I think they lost a lot of customer base doing it.
But do you think it was a developer team issue, or do you think it was more of the...
I just think they don't care. They're like, oh, we'll sell it no matter what, so...
Yeah, but I don't necessarily disagree, but do you think that's more of that with the executive board kind of thought process, or the dev team?
I don't know. They're assholes.
You don't care either way. Fair enough. It's a fair enough point. Well, what's your thoughts on that?
To be honest, they care so much about HUD, it's ridiculous. You never see the HUD servers go down, and if they do go down, they're up in 5 minutes. You see EA Sports Hockey League go down, we'll see you in the morning. Basically, however they can make the quick buck, it seems they'll do it. They had no reason really to not put it in the game. Sure, it's next gen, and they're focused so much time on how it looks, new commentators, whatever it may be. I haven't really got my hands on the game because I'm more of a 6v6 online kind of guy. I bought Xbox Live to play with my buddies, and that doesn't really do it for me for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to that. I think we're about to start with the RFA draft. I just saw a comment there that Fallen jumped in, and they're ready to go.
So yes, we'll see what happens. We already had a name fail, apparently.
Yes.
I mean, that's a hard name to spell.
Well, hi, my name's Ed.
Yeah, but in all fairness to that, too, a little birdie told me that some of the captains didn't quite show up for the practice, which, you know, you don't show up for the practice, this is the shit that happens, right?
You don't need practice
to be. Well, I mean, hey, I screwed up one of the first times I captained. I didn't put the question mark or something in, and I just put it into the chat, and it didn't go through, and then everyone goes, I guess who AC's drafting right now. But I can talk from going through a couple of these. I've gone through the snake draft once or twice as an MHL captain. I went through my first bidding process last year as a MHL captain. And I mean, again, it's a hockey video game, and it's for fun, but it's a little nerve-wracking when you're trying to get all your strategies together, figure out what you're going to do, what's going to happen. Wow, that was a quick jump, eh? 2 to 3 to 10.
I just want to see. I'm intrigued because we all made our predictions that they're going to get a little bit of bump of basically if they were a mid dollar player to a little bit higher dollar, but it seems like it's going pretty slow right now. Okay, so we've got the bid up to 14 from Yeti right now. So this is more around the range that Ed was getting closer to last season. So we'll see if it continues that as well. Because Ed is a very good right D man, very skilled with the puck, knows what to do with it, and he's been here for seasons. So we'll see how he goes here.
You can't go. I mean, in terms of Ed's a good quality defenseman for this league. He's not going to be a difficult player to deal with. He's not going to miss a game. He's going to be there. So he's a solid pick for many reasons. But it's interesting. Seems to be that Yeti is really pushing this. Did Yeti get it?
No, he actually went to Shock for $17. So
interesting.
We'll see if Vin matches the offer of 17. I know that's $3 cheaper than what he had him for last season. So.
And he matched.
And he matched it.
I'm kind of surprised he went lower than 20.
Yeah, I agree with you, Lib. I'm surprised as well. Vin adding a little extra exclamation point on the match in the chat.
For sure. That's a good price. You got him cheaper. That's the goal of RFAs. So.
Yeah, and that's a risky move by captains, but it can pay off if it's done well. So we have you up there, Bilal. Let's see how this works out.
And we're gonna
Any guesses
see.
here?
I have no idea. I'm not
I'm
gonna
gonna say 20 to 22.
I'm going to go 30.
30.
Yeah.
Now it's interesting though. Are they gonna do? Are people bidding on Bilal for goalie or for forward?
I'm a forward. I
If you've
refuse
seen,
goalie this
if
season.
you've seen
You
Bilal
refuse goalie.
if
Nice.
you've seen Bilal play goalie, I think it's pretty obvious. Oh wow.
Oh wow, nice.
What did you go for last year, Bilal?
I went for 21 last season.
So we'll see. Does he match?
I think he has to.
We will see here.
So if Vin liked what he saw with you two, he's got a chance to get both of you back for cheaper, which is, again, this is how this RFA strategy can work out to your advantage.
Denied. How does that feel?
It's fine. We're going to see what Colin Elliott brings. It's a new captain. He's been here for a long time, so we'll see how it goes this season. I'm definitely ready for it, for sure.
I've played with Colin Elliott before. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I was a backup on his cup team when he wasn't captaining. I think it was who was the? I can't remember the captain now. But yeah, I don't think you went to a bad place. Well, to be quite honest, Colin Elliott's a well-established captain. He's good at being a captain. He does what he needs to do, and he's got himself arguably a good player for a very cheap price.
Two good players. He has Digital Zen too, which.
Oh, nice. So he has his defense matched already, and I think I am a right wing as well, I assume.
Digital Zen is a great lefty, man.
You consistently put up points every year, Bilal. I mean, you're in the top 5 to 10, so $18. That's not a bad price for a player that can put pucks in the net.
To be honest, to be a cheaper guy does not mean you're a bad player. It means you save money for your team. So if Colin, how much money does he have now? Just as an example here.
He adds 23 with Digital Zen, and he just adds you for 18. So 67 minus 8, 60, 50 something.
Yeah, and let's say he goes 40, for example, because I hope he doesn't go 40, but he can get like somebody higher end. He can go after somebody like we were talking about Saney, or we were talking about Dolly, or somebody like that. Lower money means more team, basically overall standing. You can get more solid players. You can get a well-rounded team in every single position. And there's no way that really can go wrong, I assume.
I think you made a very good point, Bilal. I don't think value means anything. I mean, if a captain can steal a player for, as you've mentioned, a lower value potentially for what the market should bear, it's just a benefit because then you have more money to spend on someone else. So I think you make a valid point that, yeah, who cares what you go for? Did you go to a good team and you're going to go to a team that you want to play on and fit well with? I mean, there's been several dollar players that made big impacts, huge impacts.
One example is last season, Gaudreau, or also known as I Pound Empty Nets. He won a cup last season, and he went for $3. He was top 3 in scoring, with him, Danny, and Vic up front, and basically he was one of the sickest players last season. So definitely don't get discouraged, rookies, or anybody, for example. If you guys go low, just play to your potential and you do fine.
No, yeah, that's a good point.
I remember
big dollars.
There's doing well too. Like C.K. Benson, he was a $0 player at one point.
Yes, and there was a few of those that, again, $0 players that made big impacts. So it's all this money is just for play. It's just to see who gets who, and it boils down to strategy a lot of the time. So I am a Toke is in this draft pool, right?
Yeah, he is.
That boy is a quiet, consistent producer. I'm calling him my dark. No, I wouldn't call it a dark horse. He's my quiet, unassuming pick that's gonna wreck it up this year, I think. And he's just a great guy in general too. Easy going. Give me your dark horse pick.
For
anything, just a guy that you think may not get a lot of attention, but it's going to make an impact.
Thug CTC is going to be my one right out of the gate. He's coming back from I think a season or two off. He can play defense, forward, goaltending. He's a utility player to the max. That's what you want out of a guy for sure. He's always there, ready to go. Very solid in every single position as well. And I think you can steal him for like $5 to $10 because captains are sleeping on players like that for depth guys or even as they're starting solid guys. And I think he's definitely in that starting category, and he can definitely make a big impact for sure.
What about you, Lib? Do you got a guy you think is a dark horse that to
Grew.
Grew?
Yeah.
Grew's a good solid guy too. He's that quiet vet as well. Always here, always produces.
He's got some moves. He's he can score. So he's always. I've always liked Grew on my team whenever he's ended up on it. If we were drafted together, he does well.
I'm just going through some of the chat comments. I see JB didn't like my hat. I apologize, JB. You got to rep your team, whether they're good or bad. And to anyone who's in the chat, please give us some comments, give us some thoughts, some discussion points. I mean, we're going to do the best we can to keep this rolling, but, I mean, hey, we're not pros, and there might be some dead time, so feel free to throw out some comments to us, questions, ask us something you want us to provide our opinion on. We'll be happy to do it.
For sure.
They're still loading the draft bot, I'm assuming?
Yeah, since the forward draft, or the RFA, sorry, forward draft, is done, now they get to basically put those players on the teams and kind of resituate it for the normal draft here.
So with so there will be another. So 9 players get selected tonight, or only the starting 6 get selected tonight?
You know, I think everything's gone.
And then that'll take care of everyone, or there's going to be a supplementary draft after tonight?
I believe that's everyone.
I think it's everybody. Yeah, everybody's in the pool.
Okay.
Tonight, so.
If you're watching this show, you're getting drafted.
Yeah, every single player, like we said, is getting drafted tonight. We got 9-man rosters, so don't be discouraged if you're not put on the bidding war early. You're getting put on the bid board tonight.
Now, does that make things different? Does that change the strategy?
Oh yeah, it does. You have people that basically got to draft every single person on that list, and you don't want one of your players to not be impactful when they have to go into the lineup, or if something happens to somebody that can't make a night. You want everybody on your team to be able to produce and play the same style that your team already plays. So I think it's definitely important and gives good strategy to get everybody that you need or want.
What do you think, Lib? Do you think this adds a dynamic that's different? That fact that everyone in the pool will eventually get put on a team?
Yeah, I think it does. If you don't know a guy, you don't want to maybe put him on your team and have him flake out because there's not that reserve pool that you're like, oh, well, if this guy flakes out, I can just grab this person off the draft pool or waiver wire or whatever. Like, you can't be taking risks on players you don't know. If like too many risks, you can get 1 or 2, but it's really going to hurt your team down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if there's going to be an individual captain that's going to take the idea of just kind of lay weight and let everybody spend all their money, and then kind of hold back and just nail out some players they've got their eyes on, or maybe understand some of the ringers that people aren't aware of, and just kind of do it that way. I've seen some captains in previous drafts, 1 or 2, try that, but I wonder if that's going to be a little bit more of a common strategy where you'll see 1 or 2 captains kind of get out of the gate quick, and a couple just say, I'm just going to wait this out. Because everyone's going to get drafted, so maybe they'll just say, I'm just going to wait till the end and I can get players for cheap.
It looks like we're starting here.
All right.
You think they're going to go nominate a player they want first here, or big drain money? What's going to...
So I'm going to just make a prediction. I think Shock, being a first-time captain, is going to nominate someone he wants.
We'll see here. It looks Upshaw. I played with Upshaw actually a few times. He's been my captain in the past as well, and he's solid.
He's very versatile.
I agree. He's a well-rounded player, and there's lots of bids happening here, so I guess the captains understand that as well. A couple of shout-outs quickly. I noticed Flexible made a comment, said he likes my beard. Thank you, sir. It's one of those old man things, decided to grow one. And as well, Gru wanted to point out that Lib knows his shit, apparently.
Of course.
But I think you made some accurate points around Gru, so you know what you're talking about once in a while, Lib.
Yeah.
Goes for 22 shock.
Well, I guess he nominated someone he really wanted, and he got him. Congratulations to Upshaw being the first drafted player for the season.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, Upshaw is part of that LG team on CHL. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. I think that's a name that was thrown around with Shock quite a bit. So that might be one of the players that you said he wants to go after right away.
Now, just the shout-out I gave to Flexible Pancake. Did he sign up for goalie again or no?
Yes, I think he's kept as a goal. He's kept as a goalie.
Oh, yeah. Now there's a goalie. There's a well-established Moose goalie.
And by the way, we do have Saney on the board, who we predicted to be high valued this season for sure.
Oh, interesting.
It's already up to 42.
Upshaw went for $11 more this season, so we are tending to see the trend go up.
For sure.
Blue Liner's in an interesting position. He had the most people to start with already, so he's got himself and 2 players already filled on his draft sheet. So he may be one of those guys that can spend big money on a player.
I think this, yeah.
Oh, it looks like Mud Dog and Superstar. Even Blue's in there a little bit.
Well, and let's be honest, Blue's got 2 players who are not $6 players. They're worth more than that. I somehow in luck bid for Blackjack as a backup for myself last year for $1 or $2, I think. Things happened throughout the season in terms of players and trades that happened, and we kind of had to reverse them. And he went to a team where he got to play more than he did with my group, but he's not a $6 player. That's a bargain for Blue. Well, we're getting into the $60 range here for.
Will he hit 60?
I think did Mud Dog and Superstar scout a lot? Like this could be a product of that, sticking to that veteran.
Well, I mean, this is kind of the thing, though, right? Some of these guys play so much together outside of the Moose that they're scouting all the time.
Yeah.
A big shout out to Superstar. He took over for a team last year at the end of the year and did a very admirable job of stepping in as captain. And it's good to see him continue to be a captain this year. He gets a chance to draft his own team and put his stamp on it. And he makes a big stamp, big splash.
Well, we predicted it correctly, boys, with that one for sure. And now we got Juiced up. Just so you guys, captains know, Juiced, I do believe, is playing center this season. So if that influences any decision, doesn't look like it because he's already at 20.
Is he just center?
I don't think he's just center. I think he has D willing. Yeah. But he's looking.
And just a comment on the Johnny Hockey Sanny bid. I don't think that's an overpay for Sanny. To be quite honest.
I don't think so either. Not with this draft class.
Yeah, for sure. 27 to Blue. I know Blue really likes him.
You can't take the money with you, so might as well spend it.
Well, it's an extremely valid point, Lib. There's no need to hold things back this time. Let it loose.
I know Blue really, really wants him here, so let's see. It's a Blue and Yeti race right now, the 2 vets going after the vet.
And it's interesting, the first 3 or 4 bids have been well-established, well-proven, long-time MHL players. Whereas the strategy kicks in, right? Some of these guys go quick, and then it all becomes that elusive who paid attention to the rookies.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Juice is getting up there in price, too. Here he's almost at $40. It's Yeti and Blue, though. I think it's just a bit for right now.
And Blue. I think Blue has the advantage. He has the ability to go higher, I think, than Yeti because of the fact that he's got so many people set up.
Yeah.
And Blue gets Juice for $40.
So he's spent $52 on 3 players.
That's good.
He has a quality player and juiced up with that as well. That's some good captaining so far for him with that strategy.
And now Vin nominates Murph63. I'm not too sure, but I do believe this is the Murph that's been in here for seasons before this one. So this one should get up there pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going 35. That's my prediction here.
I'm saying 40. Murph's a polarizing personality. You love him or hate him, and I'm not making comments either way, but skill-wise, the boy knows what he's doing with the game.
Yeah, for sure. And all these players are getting nominated are in the chat box saying, like, stop, because they all want to get going for that G value.
And I think that's an important thing to comment on, is that these guys understand strategy, right? They don't want to be $70 players because they know that unless you have a well-established ringer rookie that you know that no one knows about, you potentially are damaging the team's ability. Because you look at the last year's Cup winner, there wasn't a massive player on that team. It was well spent out positions, quality salaries, and that's what wins. The best player in the league can be on a shit team, and he's not going to do much. He might get a shit ton of goals, but they're not going to win.
Looks like Colin Elliott's going after Murph here, who's my captain. So I'm a little bit intrigued at the moment. He goes 43.
The one thing I know about Murph, I've not played a lot with him. I played a little bit with him, and I've seen him in scouting in last year's. He understands the defensive side of the game well, which I think is the quality a lot of captains may not necessarily look for at first. It's usually how good they are at scoring or how dynamic they are as a offensive talent. But the other side of the puck sometimes is a game breaker. I think that's one of the things that makes Viklev such a good player, is the ability to understand the other side of the puck and to play that defensive game well.
Yeah, it's definitely overlooked, I feel, by a lot of captains, is the defensive play of the forwards.
So Mud Dog jumps in there and gets Murph for $44. So I said 40. He was just a little bit over. Dalai Lama's up.
Dalai Lama's probably the top goalie in this class. That's from a veteran standpoint.
Yeah, I think
him and Pancake then.
I'm saying 50. I'm saying 50 for Dolly, at least.
50.
That's a lot for a goalie.
I'm gonna say 49.
Historically, the highest priced goalies like Pancake, Superstar, you see them 30 to 32, maybe 35. B. Cripps, I think, was up there with around that range. So I don't see it going more than 35.
Yes, sir.
I would pay that. I would pay that, but I just.
So it looks like we got Culinelli, Vin, and Blue at the moment for Dolly.
Blue could spend $50 and have 5 players done, and still have $2 with the whole draft to find someone to fill a position.
Well, I think he has to save $1 for every player, so yeah, about $50.
Culinelli throws out a $26 bid for Dolly, and there's Vin right back at it.
Blue only has 48 remaining.
Will it be 28? Oh, Culinelli goes 28. It's basically the numbers game now. Vin's looking at his draft board, and he says 29 is the right number.
Is Dalai Lama, I believe he's missing a couple weeks, or a week and probably miss 3 series at the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not too bad.
And he goes to Culinelli
for $30.
That's a good steal.
Pretty good.
That means I have Dolly
on the goalies and the prices. Very accurate prediction.
History.
So he's on my team now. So we got Dolly and net with Culinelli and Zen on D with me at forward right now.
That's a pretty decent team so far. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, Viklev is up. This should be interesting.
This is
Slumdog. He goes from 1 to 20. Bang.
Well, he knows who wants him.
You think Vin's pushing for this?
I didn't say it, but you said it, so yeah.
Well, that's.
Is there a perk for having the president on your team? No,
there's no perk.
I know.
It looks like Vin, what is he willing to go on Vic here? It looks like they're going pretty high.
Yeah,
so
Vic went Vic's still in a price range right now, in my opinion, where he's still not being overpaid at all.
Mm-hmm. Vin's going pretty high on this too. He's not backing down from Mud Dog at all. I like it.
This is interesting. Is this Mud Dog bidding him up, or is this Mud Dog saying, I want him just as bad as you do, Vin?
It looks almost like a bid up.
Because it's a two-horse race right now. No one else is jumping in.
Let's see, look at that.
36-37.
I'm not too sure.
I can't see Mud Dog. Mud Dog does not want. I can't see him wanting Vic on the team with what he has already.
$40, man. Wow. So it looks like either he's trying to burn his salary and he knows. Yeah, Mud Dog looks like he was playing him, but I'm not too sure.
I think he was. He already has. He already has
$41.
It's a steep price. Knowing last season Vic went for $21, so you got a $20 increase from that. So I want to know if that was a bid up or if that was
championship rings.
Yeah,
because Mike only has $6.
Winning championships tends to boost your salary once in a while. Vin, Ed, and Vic. That's individuals who play a lot of games together outside of Moose, so chemistry is a factor there as well.
Oh, it looks like C.K. Benson is going up right now for a goaltender. So, Superstar, nice little fail here so far. Nominated C.K. twice. Third time's the charm.
So I think Superstar's been around for a while. I don't know if he's playing goalie this year, but by him nominating CK, I'm guessing he isn't playing goalie. He just wants to drain some people's money.
This rookie class is going to make a big difference now. I think
it is.
Because all the vets go first, and then it becomes, like we kind of said before, who put the time in with the rookies.
We're at CK Benson. At least he's getting a double digits right now, and it looks like Vin is going after him for his goaltender. So is Mud Dog, though. Are we gonna have another Mud Dog Vin Gizzles battle here? Does not look like.
No, Mud Dog got him for 12.
The answer is paid.
Yeah, $12 for CK Benson is a good price for sure.
Yeah, solid goalie.
Right now.
Sorry, go ahead, Bob.
I was just gonna say, right now I'm looking at teams, and Vin Gizzle's team right now is an all MEC team at the moment.
Conspiracy.
Nicely pointed out. Interesting.
I am intrigued.
The keeper for SBDR. Does anyone? I don't know that name. Is that a gamer tag change?
Who's sorry?
SBDR's keeper.
SBDR's keeper.
Mimaso Trill. I have no idea.
It's a gamer tag switch. I'm not too sure.
I don't recognize that name from last year, so I'm assuming it's someone who's changed their gamer tag. Same with Fallen, right? TTM71, like.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know.
Beerus is up.
It's one of the bets. Been here for a long, long time.
Conspiracy. They're jumping on your conspiracy theory there.
What are they saying?
No, just Mud Dog quickly slipped in conspiracy, I think, making reference to your all MEC comment.
Oh, yeah.
Who else is on the MEC here? We'll see if it.
We got Rocco. Actually, I learned that Rocco is also on MEC, so and he still is out there. So, man, I didn't mean to spoil any plans, but. So Beerus is up to 24 right now at the moment. Rick, I keep trying to switch chats in the MIB chat here, and I keep clicking on the Sparta link, so I keep wanting me to buy this game. Kind of annoying.
Yeah, and any of those, any of the viewers, if you don't want to necessarily put something in the chat, you can always PM us in the chat where we're watching the actual drafts happen. Questions, thoughts, comments. AEC, you're stupid. You're not making any sense, or good call. Anything.
For sure, for sure. PMs are good for any questions you may have, or if we get a little stall in a draft. That's what we'll be looking instead of the Moose chat, because it's a little bit difficult to go back and forth from either or and everything.
All right, so B-Roos went for 26 to Blue Liner.
Nice.
Again, Blue is making moves for players and getting them for, I don't think, overly too expensive for a quality of player he's grabbing.
And here's another vet up, WG Phil. Been here for a long, long time.
Did he play last season?
I don't believe so, no.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. He is one of those long-standing guys that didn't play last season, but is back again.
And he's already up to 16 from Yeti, and I know Yeti has a thing with rookies, or not rookies, vets. So I'm definitely excited to see that as well.
I think this will be going falling.
$17.
Yeah.
SBDR answered our question. Mimosa is official mark. Thank you, SBDR.
Okay.
That rings so many bells.
Yeah. I like that price for WG Phil, though. $17? That's pretty cheap for a guy like that, for sure. It's a great pick.
Now, is he a forward or D?
He's a left wing, if I'm not mistaken. I'll check here.
Yeah, I remember him as a forward. So.
So up next is...
Yeah, he is a preferred center and willing winger for WG Phil there. So next we got Shock up again. I know Shock brought a few rookies into the pool. One got removed because of sign-up issues, but one is still out there. I don't know. He's probably waiting late for that. And also Shock, I heard rumors that he's trying to get his LG CHL team into one. So
Blue's only got one more guy to fill his starting lineup, and he has $22. Blue's looking to go to bed early.
Yeah, Blue has work at 4 a.m., so that's why he's bidding everybody up here.
I'm thinking, what does he need, a goalie yet?
Yes.
No, his goalie is Amazing X35. Actually.
Oh, that's right, yes. No, you're right. Thanks,
okay.
Yeah, Amazing's a pretty good goalie, actually, too.
He was one of his keepers. Him and Blackjack both went for $1 last year, so he kept them both for $6 a piece this season. It's actually a very, very impressive looking team so far. You got B-Roos and Juiced with big time vets. You got Blue on the blue line, Amazing in the back end. I don't know, Blackjack maybe playing center and Juiced maybe on right D, or possibly B-Roos on right D. One of those two. If not, he's still looking.
One of the many upsides with Blackjack is he's very useful in all different positions. He's a true utility player. He can play forward, he can play D, and he can play goalie. So I think Blue, understanding that, made a really good decision to keep him for $6 because at any point in time he can play pretty much any position and not be a concern.
And also, Blue Liner just messaged me and said B-Roos is going to be his right wing this season.
Interesting.
Yes, sir.
He's a D normally, right? I mean, that's what he's known for. Sorry, not saying that's all he is.
He's been goalie, he's been defense, he's been forward, he's been all over the place. When I mentioned it earlier, I thought basically that he was going to be goalie again this season, but I wasn't too sure because I haven't played with him as much as I thought I would. But yeah, I'm not too sure actually. I'm trying to think of what his plans are now with Juiced, if he's going to put him at center or if he's going to put him at right D. Because I know he was leaning towards center this season.
So we got a bit of a pause here for the draft. Obviously, something happened with the bot. There's another name I see popped up in the chat, and I see him on the draft sheet, and I hope I'm not destroying some captain's draft strategy, but Stimp420. He's a guy that I met through Vic, and he was someone that kind of was in and out of the league just due to getting new jobs and having difficulty being able to commit. He's another dark horse in my opinion. I've played a lot with him outside of Moose, and he is an extremely good center. Again, he's one of those guys that understands both sides of the play of the puck. So if I've destroyed some captain's draft strategy, I apologize. But Stimp is another guy that I don't know if a lot of people know of him, but he's a good player, and he potentially could be a very easy pick. Obviously we're just kind of doing a recap right now, but did anyone see the pick that they think, wow, that was just way too much money? My opinion so far is that there hasn't been too much of an overspend yet. A couple, maybe a little more than they should, but I mean, that just happens in a bidding environment. What about you, Lib? Do you think there's someone that just literally blew their brains out on someone so far?
I'll have to go with Vic on Vin Gizzles. I mean, it's not really. I think he's like a $30 to $35 player. He goes up 41. It's not that much of an overspend, but I mean, little dollars can add up. And if you would have stuck Mud Dog with Vic, I mean, sticking him with him, but for $40, that would have killed Mud Dog's whole rest of the night. So it could have prevented him from bidding him up in the future, possibly. Yeah, I don't know. That's the only one I see that's slightly above where he normally would go.
What do you think, Bilal?
I'm still on the fence if Mud Dog was bidding him up or Mud Dog wanted him. But I saw that he had $56 at that time, so I'm assuming he was bidding him up because he knew Vin wanted him so bad. So maybe that's the only one I considered overpriced at the moment. But Vic's definitely no shot at Vic whatsoever. That he's a good player, very, very talented, defensive right wing. He'll put the puck in the net. He'll make defensive plays. He'll make plays, and they'll probably be a good team this season. But I just think Mud Dog got him a little bit with that one.
Yeah, I agree 100% with both your comments. I absolutely love Vic. He is a great guy. I drafted him as a rookie. I do think you make both valid points that I think Mud Dog was playing a little bit of the bid-up game. I don't think it's necessarily bad that he spent $41 on Vic, but I do think maybe he would have been more of a $30 player, to your points. And I don't think Vin's going to hurt too much having him, but yeah, I think both comments are pretty accurate around that in terms of potential. Sorry, go ahead, Lib.
No, I was just going to say I want to welcome all the rookies and stuff, and hopefully you have a good first season in the Moose. Just stick with it too. If you're most captains, if you look at this list of captains, they're all pretty good guys, and you might not, if you're not originally the starter, don't give up either, because people will always flake out, and unfortunately, and that could be your time to shine and get in and make some friends and stop playing drop-ins. Play some real 6v6 with no quitters.
Yeah, I just got. We asked for some questions and comments from the group, so I got a message from Shock, making comments or reference about Belial. You saying something about his CHL team was second in the QMHL. I'm not sure he doesn't agree or disagree. Do you know what he's talking about there, sir?
What I mentioned was my strategy was I thought that he possibly might bring his LG CHL team over there. To over here, because they found success. I know him and Caminator, people like that have played on Shock's team over there in the past, so that's what I was referencing to.
And Crazy Yeti, shout out to him. He gave us a question. He said, "Who's your favorite player in the draft?" Now, I think that's an open-ended question in terms of maybe not necessarily who's the best, who's just the guy you have an affinity or kind of your favorite. Does anybody have the balls to pull one out?
Okay, go for that.
AC/DC.
Oh, stop it! No.
Sorry.
Lib?
Myself. I love me.
Nice, awesome. I made a comment about him earlier. I'm gonna say Toke. There's a lot of guys in this league that I have a lot of respect for. I love a lot. It's just generally good guys, but I like Toke. Something about Toke. He seems like that easygoing guy you'd like to have a beer with, and doesn't make a lot of noise. Doesn't cause a lot of drama, and he's good, he's consistent. So if I had to pick a favorite just as an overall, I'm going to go with Toke.
I have a question here from someone. Who do you guys think will get emo first tonight, player or captain? Like which?
Emo.
Like about maybe someone that goes too low, or they feel they deserve more. I'll go with Tommy Wingles. He gets emo in the draft.
Oh, Tommy Wingles.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. Maybe Mud Dog and Vin Gizzles go at it.
Yeah, I can. Mud Dog did put in the chat that he did bid him up. That he was just totally bidding him up, referring to Vic.
Yeah. The comment, or sorry, the question about the first emo. Not to ride your coattails, Lib. I don't know Tommy Wingles that well, but for my long tenure time here in the Moose, I've just seen he seems to react a lot.
I'm playing on odds.
And I'm not trying to make a comment personality-wise or anything against him. I just see a lot of emotional reaction for him. So if I had to comment on a potential, maybe he might say something and then think about it after, I'd go as Tommy Wingles possibly.
No doubt. Still. Yeah, that's just too mainstream for me. So.
Too mainstream.
Too mainstream.
The hell?
Mainstream for a reason.
You're on a Google chat about a video hockey game. I don't know if you can claim mainstream.
It's too easy. Too easy to answer.
So we're at a little pause here. I apologize to those listening if we kind of get a bit of a dead space. We'll do our best to keep it going.
JJ basically apparently he made a spelling error. So that's more than once that spelling's been the most issue tonight.
Well, as I mentioned before, like I said, this whole DraftBot Ibit chat system, I don't think it's the most technically advanced system. So it's probably got a lot of bugs. So kudos to those guys for plowing through on nights like this.
Yeah, shout out to JJ too for running it. Like that's something he does almost every draft, and it's really nice of him.
Yeah, and shout out to all the people who signed up for this. I mean, it's there's been lots of discussions last year with the switch to only just MHL and the 20 teams, and then there was lots of discussion about should we stay with 15 or 14 or move to 15, and so shout out to all those guys who stuck to this league. And we're not the other leagues. We're not big signups, big teams, lots of players, but it is a niche, and it is hopefully. From what I joined it for and what I look for, it is just the camaraderie and that Moose family sense. So shout out to all those who decided to stick around. It's what this is all about. I mean, we want to be competitive. You want to have a team that wins. You want to be the Moose Cup winning team. But hopefully we can continue to stay with that niche style of play and camaraderie and fun that kind of keeps Moose alive. Because you see it. You see people go. They go play some of the bigger leagues, but they always come back because there's something there about this league that brings them back.
All right, it looks like we're back up and running away.
Sir Snipes-a-Lot is back on the board.
Sir Snipes-a-Lot.
He had a rough time last year, I think, in that, but I think that was more the product of the team he was on.
Well, his value's going up pretty quick, so he might have an accurate point there again.
Full-time goalie, preferred goalie this season. So,
and to our points,
he's found success with goalie in the past. So,
to our points earlier, we all kind of thought that goalie would be an important position. So,
$30. I looked at it. It was 12. Look back, it's 30. And he goes to Shock again. Shock looks like he's getting this over with quick.
So, Shock, he did he goalie available last year?
Yes, but I think this year he's playing left wing.
But he has that ability now because when he goes to captain, he defaults to what he chose last year as options to play, right?
Yeah. No, when you're a captain, you can do anything.
Can you?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Because you're the ultimate fill-in guy for your team. So the more diverse of a captain you are, the better.
Bar Down's being bid on. Here's another well-established veteran who can be a game breaker.
Yeah, this will go high. Based on past stats, performance, and like you said, Moose Vet, his name, right? It looks like he's going pretty cheap though. Wow.
Yeah, I've had Bar on my team as a captain.
Bar Down. Is he MEC? I'm not sure.
No.
All right, so we can throw that theory.
$21 for Bar Down. That's
a steal.
That is a steal. Complete.
That's a nice forward line. Bar Down, Vic, and Vin now with Ed on defense.
No glaring weakness there.
That's a solid team up front.
Now, who are they going to put with Ed, and who are they going to put in the back end?
I mean, not to be that guy, but at this point, does it matter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No. Now we've got NJ Ski, another vet. Been in the league since Nam, so.
This is the one I can see going up to 50.
Did he play last year?
When does NJ Ski not play? I'm assuming he played.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he played.
Superstar and Fallen making some.
Oh yeah, this guy, NG Ski. If he doesn't go for 50, I mean, I'll be really shocked.
I'm gonna guess 49 just because you said 50. So.
No, he'll go about 50.
Kudos to the captains. This is moving along pretty decent. This is not. Seems like. Maybe like we were saying, some of these guys have done their scouting on traditional ways, just knowing people, playing with them outside of the Moose and that. So people seem to know what they want, and they're going for them.
I guess I was wrong. The bidding's slowing down here.
Also, just FYI, if you guys are private messaging in the actual Moose Hockey League quick chat, I'm not able to see it as quickly. So make sure you try to mib chat me privately. If you guys can do that, please.
I think that was a steal for NG Ski at 35.
$35 to Fallen. I think that's Fallen's first player.
No, I think he was.
No, he
got okay.
That's pretty good.
So we're gonna have Phillips center, Ski on right wing, and Fallen on left, with his keeper TTM on defense so far. So. That's looking solid too. That's another veteran forward lineup, and that's going to be a nice hard one to stop actually.
I know it's a little early yet, but that lineup with Vic, Vin, and Bar and Ed on back, because to me, I mean Vic, Vin, and Ed play so much together outside, so they're so in tune to each other. And Bar, I mean, he's been an elite forward. And that's just, to me, he's the type of guy that those four personalities will fit well together in a game.
Well, they're definitely going to have a fun time playing together for sure. They play together Destiny, they play hockey, they play whatever. It's all over the place.
So here's the first rookie being nominated, Gidson, 12-year. I don't know a lot about him play-wise. I know that I reached out to him for some help, and he's been more than accommodating. He seems to be a pretty decent guy, so shout out to him again for helping me with some rookie homework. But let's see how this goes. 15. So obviously, you're saying he's from LG?
Yeah, he plays LG, NHL, and I'm not too sure. He might play PHL in the NHL as well. No, just LG NHL there, but he has played with like Playmaker, Drew, Wattman, Dutch Master Dank, even Amazing on Blue Liners team too. He's played with all those kind of guys. So
he went to SBDR for $20.
He said he was SBDR's ringer. So
yeah, I saw those comments. So hey, it's not like it was a true drape because they mentioned it several times, so people had the opportunity to scout him. I honestly can't make a comment on value in terms of his salary. Just assuming from some of the comments you made that he is obviously a well-known player, so 20 seems to be necessarily from the hype I've heard, not say hype, I don't want to make it sound negative, but just from the talk, seems reasonable. Thoughts, Lib? Do you know much about Gibson?
Just a rookie that's active in the chat. Probably not going to flake out. So $20. I think that's a good value. If you obviously SBDR he has a good eye for talent. So I'll trust him on his assessment of $20 for him.
Interesting comment by Blue in the chat. He ran out of money trying to get Gibson.
So I do have one question that we can take that's just quick here.
Sure.
This is from Jay Money. He has two questions, but here's one for now. So although no divisions are set, any captains that have animosity towards each other, like a rivalry, they may not win the cup, but they want to beat the one particular team in the league. Is there any two like you would say that's a big rival teams? Maybe captain be captain or player be player?
I'm going to say Mud Dog and Vin. There's potential for some serious trash, good-hearted, but some serious trash talk between those two. That's my opinion.
Well, I know Murph has played against Vin in the past, played with Vin in the past, so you never know. You might see some controversy between them. But I agree with the Mud Dog versus Vin, just by bidding up each other here in the draft. So.
I mean, this kind of rivalry doesn't necessarily have to be they don't or dislike each other. I just think there's a competitive streak between those two that may come out. What are your thoughts, Lib? Do you have someone you think that could happen to?
No, I don't see anyone. I don't see anyone.
We have on the board, boys.
I'm on the board, really? Why?
You are on the board.
Why are captains doing that?
You're at $7 right now to Yeti.
Overspend already.
Looks like Yeti is at $9 to AC right now. Shock just bid 10 as well. You got some fans, AC. I'm telling you, big season this season.
I'm happy to go to whoever. I just want to show up, play my games, and produce.
$10 to Shock.
$10 to Shock.
Hey,
now you happy to be drafted. Thank you, Shock. Appreciate it, sir. Hopefully I can be useful.
Upshall, Sir Snipes a lot in UAC. How do you think? What do you think about that?
I'm happy. I mean, just to play with guys, and these guys are vets. Hopefully, this is a thing where we can get some chemistry. I've played a lot with Shock. I haven't played with some of the other guys a lot, but hopefully we can get on and play and just make some noise. That's what you want to do, right?
Oh yeah. So now we got who do we got on the board?
Drop.
Oh. So is he playing? He's playing
he's probably playing D, I'm guessing. He's a D man.
It's up to 17 already on Yeti. I know Blue and Yeti are high on this guy. This might be Blue Hunter's defensive partner. If he wants to put all juiced up the center.
Drop is a very good lefty, man.
Colinelli goes 19. And then there's Yeti with 20.
Yeah, Drop's a good solid D. I spent a lot of time scouting him last year. He was definitely high on my draft board.
We went $20 to Yeti. So that's another one where Yeti likes to go with the bets. So now he has $50 left, and he's already got Pancake, Drop, and Gino up front. Oh, yeah, Gino up front.
Gino, another good solid vet.
Yes, sir.
Smoke Panda is up for bid. Now, is Smoke going for goalie this year?
He's preferred right D, but willing goalie, so I assume he'll end up in the net unless Superstar is playing goalie. But yeah, because right now Superstar has Saney right now, so
Vin made a bid in there. I guess Vin's looking for a goalie now.
he is, and there he is, $6.
That's
a pretty good buy for a goalie that knows what he's doing, if that's his thought process with him.
I'm assuming he'll be playing goalie for in the season. That makes the most sense, right, guys?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I would assume his thought process here is goalie, but you never know. Or it could be utility player, goalie option, D option. So who's up to nominate now?
Apparently SPDR's computer keeps freezing.
Looks like Blue's up.
Okay. Who do you think Blue's going to throw up here?
Well, he's got to get a goalie, right?
Does he throw up a goalie, or does he?
I think he throws up someone he wants because.
He's only got $22 left, so.
Yeah.
Or maybe he plays the game where he throws up people. Yeah, he doesn't necessarily look to help people start spending money, get the money flowing.
You guys got to remember that Amazing is his goalie already, his keeper. So.
Oh yeah, we keep missing that. Why do we keep missing that? Thanks, Blau. So yeah, maybe Blue's gonna throw up somebody he wants.
Well, it looks like at this time he's going for a right D or a left wing. So depending on what All Juice is playing, he's either playing right D or center. So, or Blackjack might be playing. I don't know, Blue. Tell us.
Elegant Mullet's up for bid.
The grind is real.
I tell you what, he is a very good player. He's a very good team member. He's going to go for some good money. I had him last year for a steal.
What position is he signed up for this year?
Left
wing. He played D for me mostly, but he can play D and or wing. And to Mud Dog.
$20.
That's a good pick for Mud Dog.
Now he has Murph and Mullet with CK and Mud Dog on D. That's a solid team that he's building right there as well. Very solid team.
Yeah, and I know for a fact what he's getting with Mullet is, like I said, a veteran, and he's low maintenance, zero drama, will show up. I mean, that's invaluable sometimes as a captain. When you can have the skill and be easygoing and not a problem to your captain, that's a very good pickup by Mud Dog. Doing well for his first time as captain.
Looks like McGill is about to go up.
Yeah, the whole, whoops, not found, but here's who I'm bidding on.
Does Fallen change it up? Shock here. There we go.
Oh, Jay Money just gave me a very interesting question. With the extra roster spot, do you see any teams without a top-tier goalie that might try to experiment and take a second goalie and have a competition for the starting job? That's an interesting strategy. What do you think, Lib? Do you think there's any possibility someone might try that?
Yeah, I think you should always have another goalie on hand. So whether it be from other people's availabilities or having that flexibility to switch around lineups is key. So if you only have one person on your team that can play net, then you could be in trouble. That person flakes out or misses a game, something comes up, their Xbox dies, and you never know.
What do you think, Blau?
I think competition brings out the best in people, and if it doesn't, then you don't deserve to be there anyway. But I think it's definitely a good idea to have at least two, if not a third that maybe isn't his primary, but like just a willing position. And McGill, by the way, just went to Fallen for $20.
Yeah, I just saw that. Another good spend by Fallen, not overpriced, quality player.
Fallen has $22 left, and all he needs is his starting goalie.
But then it becomes interesting. Like we said it several times tonight. This rookie class can make a massive impact.
Yes, sir. Now we got Tom up, another vet, another Grizzly vet. He has socks older than me, but you know, I think he'll definitely do well this season. Where's he going to? Looks like Shock and Yeti are in there again. Yeti and his vets. But he ends up going to Shock. So AC, you got a new teammate.
Nice.
So now we got, looks like possibly Upshaw and Tom on D, AC and Shock up front with Sir Snipes a lot in net. Definitely an experienced Moose team. That is for sure.
Tom's solid guy. Love Tom. Good, solid D. Great personality. He plays a lot with Shock as well, so I think Shock may be looking at possibly trying to get some established chemistry.
Well, you never know. A lot of people believe that chemistry outweighs skill, so definitely will be evident there. So Yeti's up to bid here. DZ. Oh, that's probably D Zombie, I'm assuming.
That's Chaos Samurai's brother, right?
Oh, I do believe so, yes.
So, yeah.
One of the hardest hitting demon in the league.
Another good guy in terms of understanding both sides of the puck, like his brother. I mean, Chaos was known to be one of the best defensive centers in the Moose for a long time, and he's actually a pretty decent goalie too.
It looks like Vin's going after him, maybe possibly for his left D-man. Because I know Vin does like an aggressive D-man, so that might be something that Vin helps on.
And if he can balance it out with a guy who kind of hangs back and lets D-Zombie get the hit or try for the hits, $11, that's a pretty decent price.
Yeah.
I'd say it's accurate.
Vin has $4 for the rest of his team. And
yeah,
he has both his D-man, he has his forward, and his goalie. So what does he need? Like 2, 3 others that are going to be $2 players?
But I mean, you could argue he spent his money where it counts, right? The starting 6.
Yes, sir. That's
or
definitely a good team on paper.
I am Squint. That was someone's dark horse pick, wasn't it?
That was Libs.
Yeah, it might be. Might have been.
Yeah, that's the Squint guy that you're talking about, the lefties.
You also shouted out for Gru though too.
Yeah. Squint was something.
I'm pretty sure Squint's preferred lefty but willing goalie. If I'm not mistaken. I know he played goalie last season for Blue. So you could Colin Ellie hops in there. Look at that. Maybe Blue will go up to 8.
That's
Colin Ellie gets Squint. Colin Ellie gets Squint. I'm happy. That's my teammate.
I think what your comment with Squint was that the vet who hadn't been around for a while who came back.
Yeah, but didn't really come back. But he came back last season. It counts.
So I'm intrigued where Squint's at right now.
You mean position-wise, Blau?
Yeah, because we got Zen, Call, myself, Dolly, and Squint. That's for some later thinking. But who do we have up right now? We got Vin up right now. So Vin, like I said, he's looking at those maybe $2 player. So I think he just throws up somebody to throw big money out there right now. And he throws up Lib. Here's a guy.
What are you signing up for, Lib?
This will be the first time in a long time I'm right D eligible.
Oh, you're bringing back the hammer, eh?
Yeah.
Blue liner looks like he says, "Hell yeah, I'll take that guy."
Let's see if you can beat my record last year for hits.
So we got Liberate to Blue liner.
Nice.
Nice. You got some MEC presence. You know what that means.
That's a nicely rounded out team.
And you can see Lib get really close to the screen and also looking through Blue's roster.
Yeah, I'm trying to study here. I mean, I am right wing and goalie eligible as well, but thank God I don't have to play goalie, it looks like, because Amazing's there.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, Blues got himself a good group of guys in terms of utility too. He's got a lot of options for swapping out different positions just to get the right mix.
I think that stapled Lib into right D because I think that might move Juice up to center. So 1 sec here. Got a message from Blue. Tell Lib he will be right D and some right wing. So there's your answer, Lib.
Yep, splitting duties again.
So Superstar's making he threw up D-Mitch, and Superstar is one of the only guys that only has one person drafted. So this is interesting. What his strategy might be is kind of sit and wait.
D-Mitch went to Yeti for $6. D-Mitch pension. Here we go. I think he was on his team before too. So now you got D-Mitch and Drop on D, Pancake and Net, Gino and Yeti up front. So Drop's definitely gonna have to. I think Drop's a little bit more aggressive as well. So it's gonna be a little bit intriguing. Oh, Rocco's up. This means Vin, where you be at?
Oh, Superstar. Rocco, another very good veteran, well-established player, been around the Moose a lot. He's been playing a lot of D lately, so it'd be interesting to see if they're bidding on him for his D abilities or possibly forward. Or again, the whole concept of utility.
Looks like SPDR wants him. I know Rocco was, I do believe, a captain to start off the season, and he had a bit of a weird availability this season. So I'm intrigued to see where he goes here, that's for sure.
Seems to be a Mud Dog Superstar, so is Mud Dog potentially doing the bid up again?
I don't think so on this one. Mud Dog's looking to fill out his team. Well,
$13 for Superstar, that's not a bad price at all.
Well, Rocco's a Grizzly vet. Plays D solid, plays wing solid. I've never seen him play goalie, but you know he's going to be there in the skater aspect for sure. Okay. Volorn is up for nomination.
So Superstar nominated him. Now Yeti's in there.
Might be another vet for Yeti to take here. So I don't really see Yeti taking rookies that often, if ever.
Yeti likes his vets.
$3 maybe?
Hey, you know, you look at Yeti's vets that he's picked up. It's not a bad looking roster either. Flexible, Gino, Drop, D-Mitch, and he just picked up someone else. No, sorry, who did he just won that one, right?
Yeah, Volorn for $3.
Wow, that's a steal.
I think Volorn was at one point in time last year, he was like top 10 scoring.
Yeah, $3 for Volorn is an absolute steal.
We got Blue Liner up to nominate here. It looks like right now that he's just nominating his fill-in guys with $11. So I'm not too sure who he's going to nominate here. Alright, go see.
So Mud Dog here, or sorry, J Money just gave me a note saying Mud Dog still needs 2 starting forwards. It's interesting. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, he also sent me a question. Also, Mud Team's back 3 is legit. Can Mud purchase enough offense with his remaining bags of dicks? So.
But it's interesting though. It depends on what Mud Dog's thoughts are with Mullet, because Mullet can play forward and he can play it well. So he may already have 2 forwards in terms of Murph and Mullet, and then he got himself. So that's the thing with guys like Mullet and other guys that are kind of those utility guys. It gives him options. He can choose to put Mullet at D or wait until he finds a steal of a forward, and vice versa. So Blue's up next. 5-pound empty nets. Former Cup winner. No, he's had a few game changes or gamer tag changes, hasn't he?
Yeah. I don't know what from.
Trying to remember what. Now, was he drafted by Yam right off the bat last year?
Yes, he went for $3 last year.
So he was Goodrow.
Yes.
So that was your dark horse pick, wasn't it? Or
yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. This was my dark horse. Look at looks like SPDR wants
15,
to go for him
17.
Oh, Colin hops back in.
Colin hops in at the last minute, brings it back up again. SPDR. Oh. Looks like this is a player that people want.
Oh. And he goes to SPDR. That is an absolute steal.
This draft's moving pretty quick. We're at 10 o'clock, and we're moving pretty good. Kudos to the captains for keeping it going. Seems like, again, guys are well prepared and understanding what they're looking for, and know what they're willing to spend.
He said it'll be a Ford.
5-pound empty nets is a beast at left wing, man. He is
Yeah.
definitely worth the pick for sure.
So I got a question. How many they're drafting tonight? Are they drafting all 9? Or 8,
yeah,
I guess.
Everybody is being drafted tonight.
Now, I get an interesting comment from a captain. I won't name his name, but a question. So it's interesting from my perspective of is he trying to plant a seed or is he trying to find some free scouting? So it was asked the panel about Zelo.
Oh, it's good. Zelo's great. You can put him anywhere, and he does well. He's an above-average player, I think, at goalie, forward. Even I think I've seen him play defense. I don't know if he's eligible for all those positions, but he's a great, good value pick.
What's your thoughts, Blau?
Good player. If you guys don't know, he played on Saney's team last season and was top 5 scoring. So, just so you guys are aware of Zelo out there, he'll probably end up going for another steal of $1 to $3, which is ridiculous. But I definitely think that he is definitely worth every single penny for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree with both of you. I'm a little shocked at the captain posing the question to us as a panel because my perspective is he is an extremely good player that does not get noticed or talked about a lot. And this captain probably should have said anything, and he probably could have picked him up for nothing. But now we're talking about him, which may trigger people going, oh, yeah, Zelo, I remember him, or he's pretty decent. So, but I agree both with what you've said. Very good player, very useful, usually gutting for a steal.
Definitely. I'm just looking through the people there.
And look at this. We've talked about this before. You start discussing a guy, and that's it. There he is, Superstar.
And he's gone.
Either Superstar knows about Zelo or is taking direct reference from what we've said.
I think he has to know him, I'm pretty sure. Zelo's been around off and on seasons.
Let's not over exaggerate his value here though. I still put him in that $10 to $15 range. I wouldn't say he's above that.
No, I agree. But I'm saying it's interesting that a captain would throw out the question to the panel if they're hoping to get him for a lower cost.
Yeah.
Still, $6 for Zelo. We went to Superstar. That's a good pickup.
$6. Yeah, $6. I like it. Good price.
Next up is Crazy Yeti. Let's see if he goes the traditional Yeti pick for a veteran. or if he decides to nominate into the rookie class.
Nope, there is the bet.
Homebrews. Hey.
Also known as Brews Tunes on the forums here.
Now, do you think guys know that's Yeti's MO and they're just bidding up any guy he throws up?
Well, Yeti's all about that bidding up people but getting the people that he wants. And as you can see, he ended up getting homebrews. So for $7.
He outbid himself.
Yeah. Did he actually outbid himself?
No, I guess he didn't. No. I guess he didn't. I missed it.
I thought he did for a second. I was like, what? But Yeti, it's interesting. He has D-Match, Silent Bob, Drop, and homebrews now. He has 4 D-Men, unless he's planning on playing D-Match up front. So I'm looking at the draft pool, and like you said, guys, there's a lot of rookies still here.
Yeah, I think there was only been one rookie that went off the board.
Yeah, Gibson 12-year.
So I mean, either that's a product of the rookies not showing up to scouting, or people are holding out back their ringers. They don't want to nominate them yet, but at this point, I think you still got to start nominating some of them.
I completely agree, and I think it's. Sorry, Bilal, go ahead.
Something that's interesting I just wanted to point out quickly is that SPDR and Shock, they have quite a bit of money in the bank still. They have over $30. Yeti even has over $30. Maybe they start bullying people with their wallets.
I think that's a strong possibility. Oh, Chaos, he's up for bid.
Great in the draws.
Very good.
I like to call this Mr. Utility Man.
Yes, he can play net pretty decent, and I mean Colin Ellie comes in and steals him.
$6. That's my captain. Oh boy, nice pickup. I like that pickup. That's a very good pickup by Colin Ellie. Like we said, all of us here, very strong utility, can play everywhere on the ice.
I totally agree. I think that is a phenomenal pick. Who's up next? Oh, Blue. Lots of good players left, low on money.
Oh, and there's Gorilla.
$6 for Chaos. That's a steal.
Oh, Gru's up.
Gru's up.
Yep.
Here's your dark horse, Lib.
Yeah.
Seems like he always is on Blue Liners team.
Wow. Yeah, $5?
Nice. Gru's with me. That's awesome.
$5.
I like it.
That's that again.
I'm happy.
That's somebody that might be thrown in the lineup right away.
That's a great pick. Clutch pick.
I'm not going to disagree. I think that was a well-placed pick by Blue.
Got some good rosters on the board right now, and a lot of good players still on the board as well. You got some players on the board that have labels to their names, but are still solid players. That might end up being steals at the end of this draft here for $1. I see players all over the board that have no business being there still, and are taking runs at starting positions every single season.
Yeah, there's a player that sticks out for me when you make that comment, and he's, again, one of those, as I mentioned about Murph, he's a polarizing player for people, is Vin Mang.
Oh, you went in a different direction than I thought.
Because, I mean, for those who've been around the Moose, have known, Finn's been known for his party drop-ins and his unique personality and perspective, but he does play the game well, and he's proven himself different times. It's interesting to see how that'll play out. Where do you think I was going, Lib?
Tommy Wingles.
Oh, no. I've made my comment. I mean, I'm not going to deny the man's ability. He's good.
Yeah, he is. He can score. He is. One of these years it's going to be where his attitude gets in line perfectly. And I've been on a cup-winning team with the guy. Like if you can get him to work with your team, he can be an amazing steal for you. But we'll see if that, comes to fruition. You need a strong captain in order to control him.
So another rookie has gone up, Nuke Freeman.
We also missed one. Zari went for $6 to Fallen. It just happened so quick that it was hard to notice.
And then Nuke Freeman has gone to Mud Dog for $10.
$10. I heard that's going to be a steal. This guy also is an LG NHLer. $10. I think that's going to be a mistake for future teams that he plays against. Looking up his stats, definitely no slouch whatsoever.
And this guy's a goalie, this Nuke Freeman? Actually, you know what?
He's a preferred center.
Oh, yes, that's right. Gibbs gave me that information. Strong center, known for playing with Dynamo Mike. Apparently he's good with his possession in the offensive zone. Good centers are hard to find.
And we're just missing another vet here. Stoey Jopa goes for $3.
Wow.
Shaw $3. The veterans, isn't he?
Yeah. They got a combined age in Moose years about 30.
Yeah, looking at the value, the salary for Joey Stopa, for Gru, and for who was it that went, and Volrorn and Chaos. Sorry to my captain, but you overpaid for me big time. The Blue Liner's up. Blue Liner, I think, is running into a lack of money problem now.
Well, he only needs 2 more players, right? So
that's true, and he did get Gru for 5, so he's putting up a rookie.
I got a message from Mud Dog saying moving Murph to wing, Nuke will be playing center. So, in case anyone was wondering.
That's going to be a good team, man. That's an early prediction right now for a possible cup-winning team. Yeah, Murph, Nuke, and Mullet up front. Or they might put Mullet at lefty, you don't know.
Mullet is a bully. He's a bully at left wing. He's one of those players that'll come and hit you. I know if I played a small forward, I just don't like playing against Mullet. He comes down and he hurts you.
Yeah. Well, Blue just got another goalie, actually. He just picked up Bonos 9, one of the most impressive rookie goalies that I put on my top 3 to watch there earlier in the pregame show.
Nice.
Well, to your point, Lib, I was Mullet's Padawan last year in terms of hitting. That's what he told me to do, and that's what I did last year. He gave me his magic build, and I just hit anything that moved. So big shout out to Mullet for showing me the ways of the grind.
I really like that pick by Blue there for Bonos. I don't know if he's going to be a starter right away, but I know Blue as a captain, he's going to get everyone in on his team. So I definitely see Bonos getting some starts this year. And like I said, he was my most impressive rookie in this class.
That's saying something. That's exciting.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know much about him, so I can't say much about him. But kudos to him for getting drafted. I hope he does well. And if he's going to a great captain. And to your point, Blue is very good at making sure he uses everyone, making sure he gets a chance to see who does well with others, and uses his team quite well.
Hey, Memphis. And this Stewart guy that just went drafted, he is besides, I think, One Trick Pony, he's the only one of 2 rookie this season. So that's definitely a fill-in guy for Folland. If his starters can't make it, for sure.
So my captain's up. What's he got in store for us? Caminator. Good, another good utility player.
I was definitely thinking this was going to happen again. What I predicted earlier was Cam played on Shock's LG team, so they definitely have good chemistry together for sure.
Shock is thinking of him for goalie.
I don't think Cam has goalie on a sheet actually.
$1.
Right wing and forward only for Cam this season.
Ooh.
So
I
he would
don't.
definitely be playing forward, if not utility. Oh, forward only.
But I mean, for $1, regardless of what you want to say, $1 still that's you can't go wrong with $1.
It's hard to underperform at $1 value.
Yeah, unless you go for $0, but that doesn't happen this season.
And that gives Shock $26 to spend if he's got some sort of rookie he knows coming up.
And here's Crazy Legs, another good center.
Yeah, I'm surprised this guy wasn't nominated sooner.
And he's going to get up in the double-digit money, I think, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see if the captains catch our word fast enough so they can keep nominating and bidding.
Well, Colonelli seems to be throwing the bids in at the last second. It could be a two-horse race here.
See,
It's my captain.
Hey, Yeti has $31 left, and he needs another slot. I can see him. Yeti.
Yeah, Yeti just pulled out the money.
Yeah,
Yeti just pulled out the money.
Yeti's got this.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he's got nothing to lose here.
Yeah.
That's get bullied right there.
Thank you. Come again.
So we have our full first drafted team.
Yeah.
Mr. Yeti has Flexible Pancake, Gino, Drop, D-Mitch, Volarorn, Silent Bob, Homebrews, and Crazy Legs. That's not a bad little setup, I gotta say. He's got some solid veterans in some key positions.
And they got a premier goal.
One rookie. He does not have one rookie at all on that team.
Now, it'd be interesting to see what he's going to do with D-Mitch. Is he going to put D-Mitch at D or at forward?
I imagine Crazy's going to be a center, right?
No, Yeti might be playing center. That's what I heard.
Right. Yeah. Yeti's playing left wing. Gina's playing right wing. And Crazy Legs is playing center. That's that's what I heard from him.
Okay, interesting.
So
right now the draft was paused. So.
Oh, Vic's saying that every player should have $1 more available. I think he means every captain.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, yeah.
I don't think that affected anyone though, right now. Looking at. So.
Moves SPDR up to $40 still.
So Superstar and SPDR are the least amount of players picked so far, both with 5 counting themselves, or 4 counting themselves. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean.
And SPDR has the advantage in money at 39 over Superstar.
You look at their teams, and you know the draft pool, what's left, and they're going to be filled with rookies. I mean, at this point.
And SPDR has the most money available to him of any captain left too.
Let's look at the draft pool here. There's notables here that I still have on a group of list here. You got Stim.
Totally Toke. Someone's got to pick up.
You got Stim. You got Toke. You got Squint's already gone.
Oh,
Shock, please pick up Toke. I'll sit on the bench for Toke.
You got JB. You got Hollywood Bob. Vin Meng. Tommy Wingles. You guys got a lot of skilled players out there. All these rookies are capable as well. To be honest, I don't really see anybody with a bad pick from here on out for sure. They just need to fill the needs that they have. So.
I'm surprised. Did Thug go already? I mean, maybe he's not highlighted.
I don't believe so. No. Let me check.
Yeah, that's another one.
And that Stimp 420. Again, I don't know if a lot of people know about him, but he's played a lot of games with Vic. Him and Vic played, I think, before they both joined the Moose, played a lot together. And I've played a lot with him too.
Can I have his leftover money?
Who said that?
That was Vin.
Oh.
He has like $4 left for 2 players. And Yeti, I think, what did Yeti finish with? Like $30? 14.
Yeah, he had 14 left over. And there is a soft salary cap, right? I believe for like trading. I'm trying to remember. Like you can't. Your team can't.
Unfortunately, I don't know that for this year. I think that it'll be a little different potentially because there is no need to keep money back, right? You can spend your full amount on your player.
I'd have to. Yeah, I'm just unfamiliar with the rules. So I was just wondering if someone, because I forget, because I know you can't trade like a $50 player for like a $10 player there. So.
Yeah, I think they give you 15 extra bucks to work with in salary. Just for trades and stuff like that.
Okay. Now I don't know if this is just an attempt to be funny or if this is actually a captain trying to make a trade already. But Yeti's thrown up. I'll trade you D. Mitch for Zombie.
I don't think Finn will go for that one.
So we got Blue Liner got with 1 spot left. Colonelli's got 3 spots left to fill. Fallen's got 2. SBDR's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vin's got 3. Superstar's got 5. My captain has 2, and Mud Dog has 4. But we've hit a bit of a slowdown now. I think this becomes more of a... All the names that people probably thought of already have been gone, and now that's left to who scouted rookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lib, I was just informed from Blue that trades can be whatever the value. It doesn't matter as long as they stay underneath the $115 salary cap, which extends to after the draft, so room for trading.
Okay.
So if somebody has $60 only spent, they can do a 50 for a 10 if that happens ever.
So Yeti sent me a message. He's saying it's him, Crazy, Gino, Home, Drop, and Pancake. That's the starting group.
Okay. So say that one more time, sir.
He's got himself, Crazy Legs, Gino, Homebrews, Drop, and Pancake. So I'm assuming Drop and Homebrews are his D.
Yeah.
Him, Crazy, and Gino are his forward. And I would assume Yeti's going to play center, so that puts Crazy Legs and Gino on the wing.
So I know Gino is on the bench.
Yeah, I don't know if he necessarily... Well, he told me who was starting, so I'm going to mention it. So, yeah, I guess that technically would put D. Mitch on the bench to start. That could be an incentive for D. Mitch to earn the spot.
Or trade bait.
Very true, very true.
Also Volan, that means Volan's on the bench as well, so that might be some more trade bait, maybe to upgrade a position or something struggling at the start, have some solid backups to throw in there.
When we used to have the MAHL and the MHL, they only had 6+1, right?
It fluctuated, the rosters. We had what you just said there. We also had a little bit bigger rosters, but mostly what you were saying, just for waiver purposes, we had waiver games and stuff like that for the undrafteds.
Because this adds, I think, a whole different dynamic to some of the captains or players who were MHL for a majority of their career, adding those 3 extra spots. So it becomes Do you draft your 6 right off the bat, or you just draft players that you expect to fight for positions? It clearly seems like Yeti drafted 6 starters. I think Blue, as you pointed out earlier, Blal, tends to draft for no one's necessarily a starter. It's all of a you all have an opportunity. Show me what you got.
Mm-hmm. I think you should. You should have your starters, and then you should have like maybe 1 or 2 positions where you should target depth at if you feel uneasy about a certain position, and have them fight for it.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair assessment. I think captains should have a general idea of who their 6 starters are.
I'm looking forward to hitting some people this season. Oh, it's going to be fun.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, but if they put you at right wing, are you gonna use your build for hitting at right, or
no? I'll be a playmaker junior. Do my best playmaker
for right back. Yes.
Oh, Thug's CTC, it looks like it's getting nominated.
Draft's paused. There's still getting things situated here for once.
You missed the hitting, do you, Lib?
Yeah, I mean, the last time I played a full season of defense, let me just go on in this story since we have some time to kill. I had more hits than entire teams had at the end of the season.
Do you remember
any singular season, like any singular team, their whole team put together did not equal my hits.
Do you remember your total for the year?
200 something, I think, 234. I'm guessing.
So I asked specifically to see if you had caught my, because I'm quite proud of being taught the way of the grind from Mullet.
Yeah. How many hits did you end up with last season?
317.
All right, so I must have had 385 or something.
I was averaging 10 hits a game. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think I was like 17 hits or something a game. I think what it came down to. So whatever that equaled out to. I remember, that was back in, one of the NHLs where hitting was actually really easy too. There'd be games where you get 32, 33 hits.
Well, and it worked for us at the beginning, right? We did really well in the regular season because it allowed me to do kind of the grunt work, and it allowed the D-men to play a game where they weren't going for the hit and they could play more of the positional. Where if you have a D like yourself that likes to hit, you need a guy who can compensate for you to help out, right?
Yeah, you definitely do. If you're gonna have a hitting person on your team, you need the team to be aware of that and play around it, or play knowing that the guy could miss.
So Shock has also decided to give us an insight on what he feels potentially will be the starting. So he has himself at left, me at center, Joe at right wing, Upshaw right D, Tom lefty, and Snipes a lot at goalie. Yeah, so it appears all captains were shorted $1, so I think that's what the holdup is. JJ seems to he just made a comment that he's looking to add $1 credit to everyone. So that would put Blue Liner at 4, Colonelli at 17, Crazy Yeti at 15, Fallen at 16, SBDR at 40, which is a lot of money. Vin at 5, Superstar at 23, Shock at 27, and Mud Dog at 15.
I wonder if that extra $1, because some people kind of held up, if that's going to have any impact. I'm not sure it will.
I'm pretty sure it will. It's a $1 menu.
But
you never know. It could be the difference between one guy looking to get that last player and one guy can bully him for that extra $1.
Yeah. I think this will become a game of don't let Blue Liner go to bed yet, Let's keep, because he only has one more spot to fill, $3. I don't see someone letting him go to bed early.
I just got a reach out from Mullet saying that if I try to use his own teachings against him, he's gonna school me. So lucky for him that I don't play that way as a center. I play that way as a winger. So I'll just have to school him in a different aspect of my game.
Oh yeah.
So when's the official start date of the season? Does anyone know? Is it next week? Sunday?
Your answer is as good as mine, actually.
Okay. I imagine it's probably going to be then. They usually give you about a week with your team to practice.
Well, next week is Canadian Thanksgiving, so that may have an effect. I think we've learned that trying to put them on holidays on either side of the border is not the greatest.
Yeah.
So I would assume maybe start this week or maybe the Monday or
Monday.
Might be a bit of a stretch then for the time off, which could be good though. Give teams a chance to get together, play.
Yeah. Figure out lineups.
Someone makes me laugh.
Oh, Gibson wants to go right wing and take my hitting title.
It was funny. Sober commented, Bar was like ready to get drafted thug, palms sweaty, and then Sober was like, my palms are sweaty from watching Belial all night. It's kind of a little weird, man.
Anybody else get any comments from our loyal viewers?
Let's see.
I do not, but viewers, make sure you send us questions for downtimes like this. Definitely good to answer some questions for sure.
Yeah, we apologize. There's a little bit dead air, folks. We're doing our best. I'm amazed that I've been able to keep going for this long.
Yeah.
Have they lost some of the captains, or just things maybe froze up with inactivity?
I think people went to the bathroom. That's what I'm thinking. Thought I read someone was going poop. So who knows? Who knows? Could be a 5-minute poop. Could be a 30-minute poop. We don't know. I don't know their pooping habits.
Pooping habits.
Hopefully someone will take the time this year to. It's been done before, and it causes a lot of email and stuff. But I enjoy reading it. The recap of teams and the draft grades.
Yes.
There's usually a member. I think Dutch did it last year, and someone else. They'll go through and say this team is the worst team and whatever. And it ignites a fire under some people's. I know I was on Truly's team the one year, and we were ranked last, and we finished first in the regular season or something.
There was one guy, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name, but he did a very good job of those several times. Younger guy, QC, I think. He was a pretty good forward, too. Oh, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name.
So Collinelli, the draft bot is restarted. Collinelli is up to bid. And also, Shock's question is, who do you think is going to get nominated quicker? Never mind. Yeah. So we got Red Viper. And you guys are aware who this is, correct?
This was someone who was in the Moose, left, and came back, correct? I don't know the changed gamer tag, though.
It is Scotty.
Scotty.
Oh, Scotty that was banned and then...
Yes, that one.
Wow. So he was someone that had a personal issue with Yambag, and now that Yam's not here, it looks like he's back in. I've never played with the guy, but he was a constant form troll, I guess you would say.
And he went to Superstar for $14, which is a good price.
That is a good price.
I like that team so far. There's Rocco, Zelo, and Saney, and himself. So looks like Superstar's playing net, and Rocco's probably on left.
Oh.
Yeah, my boy Toke just gave me a question. I think we kind of touched on about the concept of, do you think captains will give all 8 guys on their team a chance to become starters or stick with their first pick? So I think to answer his question directly, we've seen 2 captains who've kind of indicated they're going to go with their starting 6. I think Blue may give people an opportunity. I don't want to sit. Is Longton? Thank you very much. 77 times 7. That's exactly who it was. Longton used to do a phenomenal job of write-ups.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did a weekly recap. Same with Weber. He did it as well. There's going to be a lot of controversy if somebody does it. So if you are the one to do something like that, make sure you have a backbone for it, because you're going to get the haters. So just so you're aware.
Yeah, but you'll never write those kind of posts to make everybody happy, right? Someone's got to be good and someone's got to be bad. So, but yes, again, thanks you, 70. He did a very good job, Longton. I felt on those.
Thug is up right now.
Who's up for bid? Shock's up.
Thug.
That's a good player.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I got to get myself back down into the bottom of this chat. So much stuff went on. So Vin, Blue, Vin's back in it. Blue, Vin.
Vin doesn't have enough money. Sold to Blue Liner. Blue Liner go to bed.
That's a steal.
That is a steal. Blue Liner has lots of steals. His whole team steals. I'd say because he amazing in blackjack. Keeping those 2 players steals at $6. Then Grew, his rookie goalie, and then Thug.
Yeah, I think he did well with the money he had, and I agree that those keepers were just put him in such a good position to start.
To the point of the one person's question, I don't think I got to touch on it, about captains giving players a chance to start. There's going to be a team that finishes, if your team's going undefeated, they're probably not going to look to switch up the lineup. But there's going to be room for you to make a starting push, or at least learn and play with the guys. And I just hope that the rookies, have a good first experience in the Moose, and the captains, if you're undefeated, and say you're in the last 2 series and stuff, it doesn't matter for your positionings. Give the rookies some games, maybe, put them in a game.
Well said. Well said.
Do you guys foresee a lot of movement in trades this year? I know it's kind of a hard thing to predict, but
yeah, I think there's some people that got stolen, some people that got bid up, that are buddies with other captains and they want to play with each other. So I think that might be something.
Stimp's getting nominated. This is going to be a steal if they don't put a couple bucks down on this guy. Having trouble getting it to recognize the name.
Yeah, all these gamer tags.
There we go.
Hey. Well, when you have ST13X59 all in your freaking gamer tag. Let's see if it gets him.
All I did when I was a captain and was drafting, I always just copied and pasted straight from the draft sheet.
Looks like Ben's gonna get a steal here for $2. I know they're all buddies, so.
Oh, that is $2. That is a steal, and he has a lot of chemistry and time with Vic. Like I said, Vic and Stimp played together even before either one of them got in the Moose.
It's a steal, man. $2 to Ben.
So, Stimp, yeah.
He can play center. He can play D. Gal like a boss. He was an individual I had on one of my teams in the MHL. He's a good utility player. If he goes for $1, that's obviously any player is $1 is potentially a steal. Now, is Vin full?
Yeah, Vin doesn't have any money.
I was gonna say, why? It exceeds your max bid of $1. I'm like, what?
It's 2 slots to fill and $2. So.
Oh, okay. So no, he does. He still has to fill a position.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what?
So Mud Dog got Gao. That's a decent
That's good
by
pick.
Mud Dog.
I mean,
He was a starting goalie last season. Like, he did fine.
And he's good. He's capable of playing forward as well. Lorenzo. This is a guy that was a rookie last year, who was very good, but his availability, I think, really hampered him. I think he had to back out at one point. But I remember scouting this guy last year when I was a captain. Vin keeps trying to spend more money than he has.
$5 to a superstar. He's one of those players that have been in the league for a few seasons now, and always seems to get a little bit overlooked, and then ends up starting.
So we have 2 teams completely drafted, and we don't have another team who's almost completed yet.
I'm
out of money.
Who's that, Vin?
Blue.
Oh, Blue Liner, yeah. Yeah, but he's full.
Yeah, he can't nominate anyone. So yeah, he could nominate someone for $0, maybe, I guess.
Or Blue's gonna be the first person with like 11 players on his team.
Technically, he has $1. That's what it's showing. $2.
Dolly got nominated, right? Why is he not on the draft board?
So 312 hits? Damn.
317.
317?
Toke is up right now for bid.
Man, that's a lot of hits.
So it looks like you got a new teammate, or not Blue, Lib.
Toke?
Yeah, we got Toke. We don't have any. The locker room's full. The locker room's full.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Toke. The locker room is full. We're gonna have to.
Say, you got Toke too?
This is gonna be the first time where a draft, well, maybe the second time somebody has been removed after being drafted.
Thanks, Blue. You turn.
Dolly's on Colinelli's team. There we are.
Well, we'll take Vin. I mean, we'll take Toke. It's okay. Why did anyone else bid? Like, does no one else want him?
I know. Why wouldn't they let? Yeah, for $2 for Toke. No one's willing to do that.
I think Vin wants him. You know, probably for $1. But
who wouldn't want him for $1?
Blue Liner. I like that. That's a draft bot fail. I'll keep it.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Yeah, was that a draft bot fail or an MEC perk?
Well, see, yeah.
I'm joking. Vin just sent me a message trying to get he's trying to get other people to spend their money. He's trying to get them to loosen the purse strings.
So, last time someone went on to someone's roster mistakenly or from a bidding mistake, it took a long time to fix.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do about this. No one else bidded on the guy, so maybe they'll just ask who wants Toke for $1, just slap him on their team.
I say Shock should get him. Just saying. J Money. SBDR has 40 bags of dicks left. He can't afford $2 on Toke. That's a good comment, actually. Yeah, Hatchet made a comment in the chat that it's a crowded chat. Yeah, I haven't seen this many people in the Moose chat in like a year.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I didn't.
It's massive. It's good to see, though.
I gotta sit up. Get a number. Okay.
Okay, it's back on.
Here we go.
So what, does Blue still have him, or what happened?
Let's see, it shows him on his team.
Yep. Fuck it.
Oh,
we get
10 Blue.
Oh, he added Toke back to the draft pool. Okay.
Oh, and then Toke's going to be waiting a little bit longer, it looks like, because Zero Crash is on the board.
Toke will be the only player drafted twice.
Yes, sir. But I definitely, this guy Zero Crash, he was, I think, referred by, I want to say Blue, but I don't. I'm not too sure on that one, but I know he does play LG and PHL, both CHL for each. But he is definitely a solid demon that I've heard a lot of good things about. He was in a few scouting games, not much, but definitely somebody to look out for on defense for sure.
He just went for $1, so.
Yeah.
To be honest, you're going to see a lot of dollar players now. Like this late 77 will probably go for $1 now, just because it is getting later in the draft. And for some reason, SBDR likes to keep $40 for somebody that he's holding on to. I don't know who, but whoever SBDR nominates, make sure you guys bid.
And they're not going to be able to stop him though. So, well, I guess Shock could.
Well, it's the thing. If there's someone he really wants and he feels that now it's available to him, he can just bid anybody up, right?
Yeah. Shock filling in. So Shock's going to have $25 for his last spot. When I see someone finishing with that much money left over, I feel like they mismanaged their money possibly. Because you shouldn't finish with $25 left for someone that's not originally in your idea for a starting lineup. So maybe he should have went more expensive in a area or.
That's a valid point, but you could look at the other perspective that, I mean, you're not going to overpay for someone if you got the player he wanted for cheap. It's not his fault people didn't bid them, true. Right? But no, you make a good point though. You sometimes wonder if you're leaving that kind of money on the table, did you spend it as effectively as you could have?
Yeah, I'd rather finish with no money. Wishing I could get a player, but I spent all my money then looking at a pile of cash left over.
But then it goes back to that whole concept. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you paid for someone, it's who did you get.
Yeah.
J-Money making me laugh. Scrooge McDuck over here. I think making reference to SBDR holding on to his 40 bags of dicks. Because that, to your point, then what is SBDR doing with all that money then?
I think he has rookie ringers. I mean, or he has, and he still has a lot of slots to fill though too on his team. Like he's only got 4 players, so you figure the next 2 players he gets probably $10. We'll say on average, so it puts him about the right amount for his dollar. Take $20 away from him, leaves him 19. Yeah. I don't know. He definitely has to be targeting someone. You don't hold on to that much money without filling up your roster, only having 4 players. So everyone else have a starting lineup? Looks like it, at least the amount of players drafted.
Another vet left out there is Jets killer. My boy Jets. He's easily could be a starter / backup guy that could fill some spots. Now, the captains that are finished, they're not required to.
No, they can peace out.
Yeah, but they were asking if Yeti's still around, but Yeti's done, so he's good to go. Is he not?
Is Yeti done?
Yeah, he was the first one done.
Okay. Yeah, he probably just left. They're probably that's. So I'll wait until they figure out how to skip him.
Yeah, so SBDR is the only one who doesn't have his what you would consider your technical starters filled out.
Yes. Lefty and been looking at it, possibly center. If SB or right wing, I don't know where SB plans on playing.
He's gonna play goalie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at people's rosters right now, and we got. Looks like Blues team is the only one that's full.
No, Yetis too.
Oh, Yetis as well. Yeah, I'm looking straight at it. I can't believe I didn't see that. But like for example, Yeti finished with almost $15 remaining. Shock, I think, needs one more player, and he has $25 remaining. Like
whoever he wants.
And he's getting whoever he wants.
Slat77. Does anyone know who that? I don't know much about that guy. He's my new teammate.
Yeah,
Slates.
I don't know. I'd say Slates.
He's another rookie. 1 second, let me pull him up on my list here.
He's LG NHL is what my notes I have.
Interesting.
Those notes are from me, so I agree. Yeah, LG NHL, preferred center, willing everything else. So.
All right, so they're working on the skip Yeti right now. Let's see.
Mud Dog apparently has to go to the bathroom.
Mud Dog, there's no pee breaks in Moose. Who do we still got out there right now?
Couple veterans.
Got a lot of 1 or 2 players as well. You can kind of see that's the main thing. There's a few guys that I'm... Sorry?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Blah.
There's a few guys that I see out there that are still on the edge of a starting spot. You got Bog, who was a starter last year. You got JB. You got Hollywood. You got Toke back out there. You got some rookies in JO7 After Death. You got Knights 20, who plays in LG NHL. You got BMW, a solid right D-man. You have got Gordo, a right winger from last year, was on Murph's team and did well here. And love him or hate him, you got Tommy Wingles out there as well on right wing. Can do a lot with the puck. It's just if his attitude's not there, then have fun.
BC Ratton out there as well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say he's the guy.
I love me some BC. he's a great player.
Didn't you draft him, Lib?
Yes, I did. I drafted him his rookie year. I gotta look
and
out.
then you mentioned it last year as well about a guy that you had drafted that people should pay attention to. Was BC Renton.
And then no one did. And then he ended up starting for a team as a $0 player, I believe, or at least get some games in.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Toke is still out there.
He kind of is.
Well, considering Blue tried to sneak him on his team. No, it's joking, Blue.
Toke, just to let you know, you're playing on 2 teams this season.
Yeah.
Like it or not.
We have your rights.
Let's check out, like I said, guys, send some questions to the MIB chat in a PM message. We'll answer them to the best of our ability for you guys. No lack on questions. If we don't get yours at this time, we'll get them to them at another point during the show here.
So Gibson 12-year is obviously the most, was the highest value rookie at 20. I mean, he's gone higher than some vets.
I think we might see that pass, though, here with SBDR and Shock. I don't know how friendly they are to each other, but say SBDR nominates someone, Shock has $25 remaining, bumps it up to 25.
I know that most captains in this draft, like I said, we mentioned this earlier, if you go for $1 and if somebody goes for 20, if you're out playing and outperforming, you're going to play every single game. Captain can't sit somebody that's performing or producing, so don't get discouraged that you're going for $1 or $2 or whatever it is.
But then it goes to that whole thing where, yeah, if you do spend a little bit too much money on someone you were hoping and then try to trade them later, it becomes difficult to trade, though. That's how sometimes those salaries can bite you.
Yeah.
Then you have an overpaid backup that you can't trade.
Yes, sir. So it looks like to get around Yeti's, since he's not here, they put somebody null on his team.
Well, that works.
So I think my captain Colin is up to bed. I'm going to wake him up here. Make a pick.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Colin still has 3 spots to fill.
I want to look at their team here.
You can probably start making dinner. Yeah.
Makes you wonder what the captains have been doing with all this time. The guys that still have spots still left, do they start second guessing themselves? Start, staring at that draft board and think, someone they thought for sure they were going to get. Now maybe they're rethinking or.
He's juicing right now, apparently, from the other guys.
Interesting. JB went back to his normal position of as D as primary.
He's someone that's fun to play with.
JB's a great player. I mean, he's a solid D, and he has that ability to play goalie. It just depends if he decides to have a few.
If he wants to play or not.
Well, if this helps anybody for captains, he's laid off the vodka. He's only on beer now. So. Yeah, Colin is busy with the needle right now, so.
Huh.
Elevator music.
Let's get those questions, boys.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something here for us to talk about.
So we got something. It was mentioned earlier from Bar Down. Out of the teams drafted so far, do you have the top 3 strength right now, or do you have some lower tier teams that you want to talk about? What do you guys think on the draft so far?
I think Vin's team is going to be a tough team. I think Blues team has the most ability to be a drastic swing one way or the other. What I mean by that is that if you look at it on paper, you might compare them to some other teams and think, well, they're okay, but I think with the combination of players they have, they could just come out of the gate and blow everybody out with some of the players and the dynamics they could create. And it depends on if Lib really decides to go hit everything that moves.
My name is Stelios Kontos for a reason. I play that music as we're loading in. That'll be a trademark for my team to look for. The Stelios theme song.
It looks like Colin Elliott picks up Gordo for $7.
Oh, there's some bidding going on again. All right.
So that's a good pick.
And Superstars team is very interesting too. I mean, Sandy's dynamic. There's no question about that. Zelo's a steal. Rocco's a great player. I don't know much about Scotty. I know he's a Moose vet, and Lorenzo's a solid D.
Yeah, I like Superstars team a lot, especially Superstars in net, which we are all assuming he is, right?
He's an NHL Hall of Famer in net, so.
Yeah.
JB's up for auction. Vin put out a $1 bid.
There we go. JB has a home.
Attaboy, JB.
Looks like it, anyways.
It was a little more than 5 seconds there, Draftbot. What?
Yeah, it's like a whole minute.
5 seconds remaining. A slow 5 seconds. It's a buck, though. JB's solid defender, solid goalie.
Solid drinker.
If Vin needs somebody to fill in for Smoke Panda and that, he's definitely got the right guy for sure.
Well, and that's that whole other dynamic of some of these guys that are getting picked up. JB, again, is one of those guys that he is zero drama. He will show up. He'll fill the role that he needs to fill. So, and that's something that's difficult for a captain sometimes. You can pick a player that you think is a great backup or a utility player, and then sometimes you deal with those individuals you think are going to be good for you, and then they want to play or they're not happy not playing, and then it becomes difficult to manage that. So when you get a guy like JB or some other guys that are willing to, being vets and say, if you need me to play a couple games, I will, and hopefully I play well enough to earn a spot.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like right now we have Berkeyze on. Another rookie. This guy is also from LG NHL as well, and it looks like Colin picks him up. Welcome to the team, Berkeyze.
This is interesting to me. Was SBDR simply doing that to bid him up? Well, there's no reason to, and you have $40. If you really wanted him, you let him go for $4.
Yeah. I think SBDR wanted to fill up slots on people's teams. He wants.
He wants somebody here. He wants somebody.
He wants Shock to fill his last draft spot so he can get who he wants for the price he wants. I mean, that's what I see.
Yeah, but he has more money than Shark, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to pay $25 still, probably. For $26 is what it would be, I guess. Because then he'll end up competing with the rest of the teams then, because he won't have that big money.
Yeah, because the other captains are going to quickly fill out their roster spots, right? It's obvious, because SBR is not jumping into these bids.
That's exactly what he wants to happen here.
Interesting strategy. So Vin's got one spot to fill. Shock's got a spot to fill. Mud Dog just filled another spot, so he has 2 spots to fill. Colin Elliott has 1 spot. Fallen has 2, and then SBDR has 5. So is he just going to pick his next 5 spots in a row?
He may here. DMW, solid right D-man. This guy was in a lot of scouting games. Definitely solid back there, reliable. I just don't understand. Some of these rookies, like I said, have outperformed vets that are here, and they're going for $1, $2, and they're going to be a big surprise. There's always the saying, rookies coming in for the vets' jobs, and this season is going to be a big factor for that. I do believe so.
Hollywood Bob, another veteran.
This guy, not enough good things to say about this guy. Great guy, stand-up guy, plays good hockey, always is there, reliable, whatever.
Versatile.
He is everything. So
Yeah, J Money highlighting, asking if he believes if Toke's still available after that mishap. Yes, he should be.
Yeah,
And
he was. He is.
again, I'm not sure why no one's picking him up. It's not like you're going to waste money on this guy now with what's left and money to be able to be spent.
Yeah, obviously you can get him for $1. Like, no one's going to bid more than $1 because that's what happened last time.
Apparently SPDR has some ringers left, so we will see
Well,
who those
he
ringers
must.
are.
I mean, there's no other explanation to his draft strategy other than he obviously feels that there's ringers there. Because he's just sitting idle.
$40, and he has iPad Empty Nets, Gibson's, and his keeper. That's it.
Double nomination. Or is he full? Let's see. Fallen has room for one more person and $14 remaining. So I really think some of these players should have been going for more money, looking at these teams and what they're finishing with in salary.
Fallen saying he should have added another person. Who did we miss that he drafted?
I'm not sure. He's probably just going to say
Zero Crash. That's true. So he's done.
Boom.
Goes Dynamite.
Don't bid, please. Yeah.
Don't bid. So literally, we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see all the teams finish, and then it's gonna be just SBDR nominating 5 guys in a row.
Yeah.
Yep, and this null guy has been drafted a few times.
Unless, to your point, Lib, that Shock's just waiting in the background to make life difficult for SBDR.
I think so. Shock does not want to nominate here. Like, when he comes up to nominate, he doesn't.
I don't know why Fallen. Apparently Zero Crash needs to be added to Fallen's roster as well.
So I saw the. Oh, here we go. Shock's up for bid. What's he got in store for us?
Cobbs was a starter last year on the team. I can't remember whose team, but this season I do believe he is one of 2, so he's going to be that fill-in guy.
And yeah, there goes $24 that he could have spent on something.
So Cobbs goes for $1?
Yep.
Another dollar menu.
So now, that was SPDR's last big hurdle, I believe, in terms of competition for bidding on people. So now you're going to see nominations of players he actually wants.
Mr. Fallen, have a good night, sir. Good draft, buddy.
Yeah, Fallen did a good job too. Got a cup winner.
We are about, what is it, 2.5 hours into this draft, and it is getting near the end here. So Captain so far has been doing a good job.
Yeah. We're looking at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like 11 more players to be drafted.
And I assume most of them are going to be for $1 until SPDR's ringers come out. Is there a chance to see a $30?
Why even compete with him? He's just going to.
Is there a chance we see a $30 from SPDR?
No. No one has any money. The most you're going to see is $5. Wait, a $9 player. That's what it's going to come down to, unless he bids himself up for trading reasons.
And here's J07 After Death. As you guys may know, this guy was one of my top 3 nominated for rookies on the night. So we had Bonos that went, we had Gibson that went, and now J07 is up.
Looks like he's going to Colonelli for $1.
That's my team. Nice pickup call.
And that fills out his team. So now we're really filling up teams here now.
We are
and
indeed.
Superstar has 3 spots to fill at $1 each.
Yeah. That's what happens when you spend $60 on a player, though. Which looks like he planned on that, though.
Interesting, the strategy. It's an interesting draft.
Definitely wondering. JDM is throwing another null. Please don't bid.
So up in MHL chat, SBDR says Earl's not in this season. I thought I saw your gamer tag. Hatchet said he removed him because Earl asked to be removed. So that might be maybe SBDR was waiting for him.
Yeah, but I mean, you would hope SBDR, being a captain, would have checked the draft sheet a few times to understand he's there or not there.
Yeah.
Now, someone made a comment, actually Jay Money made a comment saying, with some of these guys with the leftover money, does that make them trades easier for them, right?
I guess it would, because they have that salary cap space. Since there's no limit on trading a $50 player for like a $10 player, as long as it's within your salary.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be an active strategy by a captain, but it gives them some options.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, any captain that drafts within the mind of trading probably won't do that well this season. You should draft to have the players you actually want right off the bat. Because you can't rely on other captains being willing to trade a player that you want. Let's see. Okay.
Right now it's just kind of nagging on here.
Let's see. Want to go through some of the teams here? I mean, we can't obviously judge SBDR's team yet, but we can pull out the best forward line on the team we see. Just guessing.
Right now it's looking like Vin Gizel's team. He has Bar Down and Vic on either side of him. So that's looking pretty nice up there for him, especially. But don't count out the one of Saney, Scotty, and Zelo. That's another possible one.
Yeah, but Mud Dogs isn't that bad either.
Neither is Fallens. You got Ski, you got Phil, and you got himself.
I think I'd have to go with Vin Gizel's. Looking at all the teams, I'd say his team has the most offensive power. But I mean, a lot of offense is generated by D too, so we'll see if you can't get the puck out of your zone.
But the other component to that though is that just because you have 3 high-powered offensive players, that doesn't make it an offensive line sometimes, because someone's got to not have the chance to score for someone to score, right? So
yeah. Some
of these guys have to be able to play a different style of game if it's all 3 offensive style players. Oh, I got something in my eye. I can't see now.
Probably tears.
Yeah. But I do think with Vin's team that Vic is the kind of player that he can score, but he also is willing to play whatever role and can play well, right? He understands the game. He knows what to do. Bar to an extent as well. I think Vin is going to be the one that's going to want to drive a lot of the offense through himself and use Vic and Bar's talents to help him. Yeah. And then use them. But see, that's the thing with that, those two guys, is that if he tries to run it through himself and it works, and if it gets shut down on him, then he gives it to Vic, and then Vic can score. And like both those guys can score pretty much when they need to.
Yeah.
Here's a nice guy up, Bog. He's finally up there.
Good D.
And we missed Jesus Stick went to SBDR. We missed that one.
Jesus Stick.
For $1. And eat, lift, repeat. So there's potentially what we call ringers if that's what he's doing.
Well, they weren't rookies, so it had to be Gamertag Switch or something like that. I have no idea who they are.
They're not rookies?
No, they were not.
Really?
They were not rookies. So I don't know if somebody in the chat and Nib or whatever sends me a PM of who those guys are, possibly. That would provide some insight for us to talk about as well. And look, it's the man of the hour, Mr. Tommy Wingles. It's up for auction. Anybody got anything to say about Tommy?
Well, I mean, like I think we've covered it. The guy can play the game. It just depends on, does he allow himself to fit in with the team?
Yeah, it takes a strong captain to control him. And if your team's having success, you're not going to have any issues.
He's got a good captain and superstar right there, so it might be a good spot for him to go. Because now
that is a perfect fit. That is a perfect fit for the team because I mean they have Johnny Hockey Saney, and that's a good pick.
Jesus Stick is banger.
Ooh.
J Money just sent that.
Oh, okay.
Banger 3D. He can play the game.
That is definitely a good pick.
For $1, yes, it is.
I think there should be like quotations around these players' names when they change their gamer tag for at least the next season. So you have they do that with most people.
Yeah, I was surprised about that. Because that could have changed. Wow.
Yeah, like the Easy Bros has like Formerly Cobbs. Okay, like if they would have had Formerly Banger, that might have, I don't know, could have changed some people's.
But you're right. The other side of the coin, though, just play devil's advocate, is that you had ample opportunity to
research
and scout this guy, right?
Yeah.
Because I know that they instituted that if you didn't scout or if you refused to scout with a captain, he would be removed from the draft sheet.
Yeah.
So I got insight from Mud Dog here for his lineup. It looks like he has left wing either Mullet or Knights, center Nuke or Murph, and right wing either Murph or Mullet. Left D is going to be himself and Bog. Right D is going to be BMW, Bog, or Gao. And his goalie is going to be CK Benson or Gao. So he has at least two or more.
So really he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, so he literally could have sent you a message saying, there's no set starters, I'm going to see what I have.
Basically, he gave me about 9 different options, but one of those are going to be starting on day 1, so I can guarantee that.
Breaking news.
Knowing Mud Dog, he probably did that on purpose just to mess with you.
Yeah. Like Bly will read anything.
Yeah.
Maybe.
My lineup is going to be possibly this guy, this guy, this guy, or this guy, and this guy. Possibly this guy.
The utility man's up for auction right now. 1 of 2, but solid.
Well, and ironically, he is a very useful utility man.
Yes.
Now, is he 2 for 2? I think last year he was 1 for 2.
Yeah, he was 1 for 2 last year, and he's 1 for 2 again this year.
Look at SPDR bids up Ben, just so he can't get another player. The SPDR finally fucking gets a guy. Look at that.
Oh, that's his third guy in a row. Or
Well, he's the only guy left to draft, so pretty much. So Blue's done, Colonelli's done, Crazy Eddie's done, Fallen's done, Shock is done, Mud Dog is done.
Did Toke go yet? Did Toke?
No.
Toke is not gone yet.
Here he comes.
Mind-numbing.
I think Vin Gizzles is nominating him here.
You better nominate Toke, Vin. This is up to you.
I tell you what, if SBDR allows Toke to go for anything, like if he allows him to go for $1, that is a captain fail. I have never called a captain a fail before, but that is crazy. If you have $34 and you let Toke go, that is just insane.
And SBDR smokes just like you do.
What?
Jason Bond.
What did he say?
Just that he tokes it up.
Oh.
Oh, look at this guy. There you go, man.
SBDR, snipe him. Pull the trigger.
SBDR, you better.
If you do not bid $2 on Toke, that is insane.
I think SBDR is left wing though, and Toke's pretty much.
Should I bid? Yes, you should bid him up.
Yes.
Do not give Toke to Vin for $1.
Don't be an ass.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh,
he tricked you.
it's insane. That is the craziest thing to happen in this draft tonight.
SBR, you guys are friends. I'll allow it. He's playing God. Right now, he's enjoying his power of having all the money.
Now you have Vin Gizzles, who has Vic, Barr, Stimp, Toke, Ed. That's insane. That's nuts.
That is a team full of friends as well, so they're not going to have a bad time playing together as well. Not going to be any drama on that team.
Wow. This is the exact moment I wish Giant 918 was still doing media, so he could really emphasize how crazy this is.
Jeez. Staring at a screen for 3 hours is the roof.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bar. Wrote a comment earlier today during the draft. He's like, shout out to you guys. Great show as per usual. Appreciate it, Bar. Thank you for tuning in.
Wow, that's nuts. Still shocked about this whole. Like, does SBDR not understand? I shouldn't say that. He's obviously doing his own thing, but to let Toke go, even if you didn't have him in your plans, just as a backup for $2.
Trade bait.
For $2. Like, what was it? What was Toke's stats last year?
Numbers.
Top 10?
No, it wasn't top 10. No. But definitely somebody that can put the puck in the net, playmaker. He can do everything on the ice. Good team guy is a big thing with Toke. You're never going to get a U-minus out of him. He's always there to practice, play, or do whatever with the team.
Well, I'm not captain, so who am I to criticize someone's thought process?
Yeah, if people watching think they could have drafted a better team, be captain next season.
True, very true. And SBR stepped up, so it's his. He's doing what he's doing, so he may know something well better than I do.
Leaf Ender, another rookie. This guy is on my list of rookies.
Let's see what I have on my list here. It's probably awfully similar to yours.
I couldn't find any previous leagues or he's referred by, but he is a preferred right D-man. Other than that, only thing maybe I worry about that is he put an emergency basis only if he didn't get drafted. Well, now that he knows he was drafted, that he might not be a flight risk.
From my sources, he was a playoff MVP quality D-man in LG. Very nice guy. So this is obviously one of those guys that's a quality player and a quality guy, according to what I have been told about him, which is invaluable, right? Guys are going to show up, like you said, with some other guys that are just non-emo, like Toke. You want me to play? I'll play. You don't need me? No problem. Let me know when you need me.
And apparently him and Gibson have 1,000 club games together or so. And that's he's going to be his D partner, so can't beat that.
Apparently my dog's saying he was really good, and he's telling him to bid him up, and he's like, don't let this happen. So SPDR basically is picking all these people that I heard are really, really good. So, and this bunk up right now, solid lefty man. So
who's he talking to? It doesn't even matter if you bid him up. Like no one can stop him from getting these players. So
yeah, they brought it upon themselves because apparently.
Well,
bid him up.
Kudos for SPDR playing it out the way he wanted to. Maybe he just ran this draft exactly the way he intended, and he has the players he wants and has a lot of money for trading if need be.
Vinmang is shouting out in chat.
So that leaves only Superstar left to fill 2 roster spots because SPDR just got his last 2 guys.
Well, we can tell who that's going to be, right? Well, actually, there's some people here that might not get drafted.
Sea Prowl, Wolfmaster, BC Renton, Goodrow, Pounder, Sconey, Teen Wolf, Vinmang, Jets Killer, Rabbit Wolverine.
I'll make a
I Cause Panic.
BC Renton there. I think BC would be a good fit for his team.
Vin would be a great pickup now at this stage too, especially if he's got goalie available, which he does.
Yeah, but you got Superstar. I mean,
well, yeah, like you said,
it's trade bait. Yeah,
trade bait, or if you can't make it, right?
Yeah.
They're saying the bot needs to retire forever, which I figured. It's very difficult for them to use that system, I'm assuming.
Thank Jesus for JJ.
Oh, so yeah, they're just going to tell Super to email his last 2 picks because he has no competition, right? So it's just whatever he chooses. I guess the bot messed up.
Post him here. Post him here, so we can.
Yeah, we want to see him. Should we chant or something?
Chance?
Oh, he quit. He's just got it. So we don't know who the last 2 people are. It's just going to be a mystery, I guess, until.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, it looks like season 24 draft is finally over.
It is done.
3 hours.
Shout out to all the captains. Ran very smooth this season. A little under 3 hours, actually. And we have every single player drafted that could have been drafted, except we don't know who the final 2 picks are. Hopefully that'll be said either in the chat box later this evening or something like that. But definitely thank you for showing up and listening to us 3 talk for 3 hours.
Yeah, good job. Yes, you made a good point, Bilal. The captains, there was some delays to this, but it wasn't due to captains' fails or concerns, just, things that happen in these kind of scenarios. Lib, you got anything to close out with or say?
I'm looking forward to seeing the team names. There's usually some interesting names. So, yeah.
And without Viva La Vida this year, though, I want to see some good write-ups by the captains. The pressure's on. So let's see those songs.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you to both you two for putting on a great show as always. This will be my last media show for this season. I thank Blue for reaching out to me and asking me to participate this one last time. I love the Moose, love all you guys. Think we do a good job. Hopefully you have a good season. Shout out to all the individuals who contributed to our show. I have to say this is probably the most involved I've seen people in the chat asking us questions, getting us to think things through. Thanks to Jay Money, who was very much a contributor tonight to questions and thoughts. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope we did a good show for you. Everybody have a great season. Have a good night. Peace.